thing that I made and breaks it. Okay, well, I'll watch while you guys do some intros anyways. All right, well, welcome back, everybody. Excited to play again. We actually ended last session somewhat in the middle of a bit of a dungeon in the hideout cavern of the goblins that you were pursuing. The party believes that the individual in question that we were all looking for, being Gundren Rockseeker, who employed us on the mission to go to Phandalin, may have been dragged against his will to this place. Once you got here, after dealing with some goblins outside, you did meet up with a goblin named Yimmick. Yimmick obviously had some ambitions of his own, and he actually did his best to implore you to kill the goblin boss that resides in a couple of rooms over from him, being Clarg the Bugbear, he named him. Clarg is clearly the boss, but Yimmick fancies himself the boss, and he tried to make a bit of a very loose wager with you guys. Some conversations definitely went sour with LePage. Yimmick also had a prisoner with him, so he was actually about to kill the prisoner as well during these negotiations. And you were able to basically negotiate, I think it was a negotiate for his freedom. The prisoner being Stilgar Hallwinter. Stilgar, who is now with your party in the cavern, is he is wounded. He is a knight of the Lord's Alliance, he told you. He was sent here to find one of his counterparts. He mentioned to you Iarno. Iarno was sent from Neverwinter a few months ago and completely went off the map and disappeared. So he has been sent to find Iarno. On a mutually beneficial mission, he met up with Gundren Rockseeker. Gundren has basically the Lord's Alliance themselves would be your like lawful good type affiliation. They are like sort of, police is a strong word of the realm, but they uphold the law, and they want to see basically everywhere prosper. They want to see the good in every place. So they're sort of sent to all the corners of the realm to sort of stir that up and influence good and influence change and influence wealth and prosperity and all those things that come with being good. And there goes my stream. It's fucked up. I'll fix it.
Broken it already, Brad.
Yep. I knew it happened at some stage, and now we're good though. We're back on deck. Okay. So Stilgar is with you. He is in the cavern with you. He's wounded. He just before like when he was actually in the clutches of Yimmick, he kicked you, Solomon, like a little orb. I believe it's in your inventory now. You haven't spoken to him about it at all, but he did sort of as like a gesture of, I'm a good guy here. I need some help. He was able to kick you something across the floor as a token of his goodwill. Stilgar hasn't said much other than he needs help, obviously getting back to town, being Phandalin. He was raided with Gundren as well. He doesn't know where Gundren is. He does know that him and Gundren were obviously on the way to Phandalin together, and he was captured, beat right up, and brought to this goblin cave. As far as we know, we are still searching the goblin cave for Gundren. We know that Clarg the Bugbear is the boss here, and he's a couple of rooms over from where you left Yimmick. Yimmick gave us that information. Other than that, was there any other questions or things on anyone's mind before we jump right into some intros?
I believe so.
How was everybody feeling after that fight? Like our group.
We are sore.
I'm not thrilled about how I am.
Okay.
But I've been worse. For example, when someone decided to use Arms of Hadar without reading how it works.
Before referencing the player's handbook.
I don't know what you're talking about. I knew exactly how it worked.
He's right to remain
And-
silent.
yeah, and it was intentional.
Valid.
Just before we launch into the game, can we do 20, 30-second intros? Who are we playing and just a tiny bit about them?
Yeah, I'll go first. I'm playing LePage. LePage is a tiefling warlock. Very low level still, but comes from wealth. Very much new to the world and is kind of eager to take it on.
I play Solomon. He's a old school, good-natured paladin who has seen a lot of the world, good and bad, and is kind of eager to just find his place in it and keep out of as much trouble as possible, but help where he can.
I play Horatio, who's a very short halfling and quite a heavy one at that. He is a rogue and a thief. Very, very poor, quite the opposite of LePage, and he is just looking to make a quick buck at this point.
I love your character. That's such a cool like twist.
Just
Little
just
fat fucking
Yeah,
yeah.
stealthy as
Easy
well.
unit.
Super
Stealthy.
stealthy.
He is light on his feet somehow.
Okay, so where we're gonna pick things up is just a reminder, actually, for some housekeeping. Like, let's not get bogged down with the VTT. When I bring you to the VTT, that's where I want you to go. There right now, like taking you back where we are. We've just left a room full of goblins that you defeated. You are sort of in the caverny sort of space. It's very dark. Like, this is extremely dark. You're back in the caves of this building of this structure, this goblin hideout, and it's extremely dark. You do have Stilgar with you, and that would be where I will leave you. Let's play.
Before everybody get into this, everybody say cheese.
Cheese?
Did you get a good snap?
Yeah, everybody's
Nice.
laughing.
Awesome. I want to see that. That'll be great.
Do I vaguely remember Horatio just running off at the end of last episode?
I did.
Is that what happened?
I sprinted off into the dark because
That's
I
right.
couldn't see. That's right.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you cannot see.
Oh, so hold on. On that note, before you go further,
Mhm.
hold on, Solomon, have you casted light on his earlobe? Is that
Yeah, you did cast light on him.
I did, but I believe that only lasts an hour, so it's up to I did that.
Yeah,
actually
okay.
fight.
Yeah, I don't think I have light on me at the moment.
Let me walk over to Horatio and find him in the because I can obviously see him and he's clearly just like running in circles. So
Yeah, it lasts an hour.
yeah, I'll go up to Horatio and I'll kind of just be like, all right, mate, I got you, and I'll grab him by the collar and I'll walk with him through the darkness.
Thanks, buddy. This cave seems really big.
I won't let you go. I promise.
All right, and so
I suppose I'll bring up the rear with I forgot his name already.
Stilgar. Yeah. Is it Sildar or Stilgar?
I wrote Sildar.
It's
last
Sildar.
time.
It's Sildar. I got that wrong. It's Sildar.
Yeah,
What
I'll
was
bring
I
up the rear
gonna
with him,
say?
and I just want to
Yeah.
bring out the globe and just say to him, this item you've given to me, what does it do, and how did you come by it?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. I managed to steal it from their loot on my way in when I was being dragged through the floor. I actually managed to grab it from the loot. From my experience, I believe it is a, what did I call it when I put it in your inventory? I believe it's a drift globe. Have you heard of one of those before? Can you hear me?
Yeah, my headset just shit the bed. I'm back.
That's all right. You back?
Yep. Heard most of the dialogue.
Yeah. So Sildar says he believes it's a drift globe. Have you heard of one of those before? Thought you might find use of it.
I haven't. Can you tell me about it? What it
Yeah, I've never personally used one, but I've seen magic users use them before, and they're able to emanate light. So I think they could help you light up like dark places.
And I want
How do we use it?
I want to yell out, little man.
Yeah.
You having trouble seeing? I have something that might be of assistance, and in the dark, I want to toss him the drift globe. I can see him. I'm not trying to hit him with it, but I just want him panicking without knowing that something's flying at him.
I can hear the whistle of something flying towards me, and just in the dark, and I just feel it hit me in the middle of the chest, and just roll to the ground. And I pick it up and look back at Solomon and say, "What is this? What? What have you given me?"
Supposedly it brings light, but I don't really know how to use it yet.
Sildar says, rub it 3 times.
Rub it 3 times. I look at LePage and say, okay, I don't need you anymore. Give it 3 quick rubs, and
I don't know how
Yes,
to
it
I
just
don't know how to
starts to
move. items
glow?
else.
Yeah, so glow starts immediately bursts into like a bluey light, much like Gandalf's staff in Lord of the Rings, if you've seen it. Like it.
What does this do?
So it emanates light about just like very similarly to dark vision. So you've got about 30-foot radius that you can see easily, and then you've got about 30-foot more of dimly lit. So it's a torch essentially. So it's a perma torch that you don't need to light. You just rub.
Perfect. Alrighty. And using that, I then turn around and look forth and notice that we're at a bridge. And as I look to LePage, I say, would you like to go first, or shall I? I'm quite nimble these days.
So you do in front of you, you see.
I like how you,
so
sorry, I like how you say these days as if you've actually lost weight rather than gained it.
So I know I was
think I've
interrupting
gained
you.
weight, but better feet.
Oh, sorry. I know I was interrupting you before, but I just
Yeah.
wanted to let you know that even though on the VTT you can see a bridge, that bridge is one that you did see before when you first entered. However, it has since been chopped down, so that bridge is no longer there. So you have you see it's clearly been like recently. It's been it looks like a goblin's just run through here and basically jammed his scimitar into the ropes and cut it down. So probably one of the goblins, you've seen some tracks on the floor from fleeing from the previous fight, has gone and cut this bridge down. So what you can see in front of you is a 30-foot gap. 30 to 40
30
feet
foot exactly.
30 to 40 foot gap, where there was a remnants of a bridge. You're only looking at about a 15-foot drop, and then like that's where that river came in. So if you can recall, like if you can look at the VTT and remember, you came in through that like riverway. You actually went up and to the left in that like is there a way to like ping?
We can see your cursor.
Yeah, we can see.
Oh, okay. So yeah. So you sort of walked up here, obviously fought Yimmick and his gang over here, and then you walked around. So now when you started here though, this is when you looked up at that bridge and then you decided to go left. So it's not like it's a huge cliff that you're across. Like you could theoretically climb down it and climb up the other side. It's not like an enormous like abyss or anything like that.
Well, I think we push onward.
I'm still at the back, so I suppose I'll follow these two. But do we not have to get across the gap?
Well, could we not go back down the way we came and then cross the river and walk out the door? Is that not an opportunity here?
I'm not opposed to it. I can't cross a 30-foot gap.
I was gonna say, because if there's no bridge ahead of us and we've got to slide down the rock face, we at least know the rock face we came up wasn't bad.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, right.
So if we backtrack, we go down that, and then we just continue onward down the river.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So as a group,
Awesome.
yeah, we'll all group up and we'll head down the river.
Yeah,
Sounds
perfect. So yeah, you head back through the dark caverns. Obviously, we've got the light emitting in front of us. Do we have is Horatio taking the front again? Is he leading the front with Solomon helping Sildar at the back?
I can do. I feel like I can see about the same as everyone else, but I've got the glowy orb, so I can take point.
You do have the glowy orb.
I'm staying kind of close to Horatio.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm assuming you're all sort of
Yeah,
grouped up.
because if his light goes out, he's gonna get scared again.
yeah. We know not how long this lasts.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know how to give it to someone.
Yeah,
I'm
Horatio.
removing it from my inventory.
Yeah, it's fine.
Do you need me to give? I can give it to him as well.
Yeah, you
I
might.
can
You
just-
might have to.
I can give him another one. You can delete that one or something.
I've already deleted mine. Yeah.
Excuse me. Okay, so now in front of you, you're back to the where you entered the cave. You've got like that sort of knee-deep water flowing sort of gradually. You've got a gradual incline leading up into the right. Underneath, like you can see, so just up and to the left is where you guys were just standing, looking out over the now cut bridge, which is about 15 feet above you, maybe a little bit more, maybe 20 feet above you. So yes, there's obviously a path in front of you that leads that like you could continue following the water, and then obviously there's the other side of the bridge that you can see where the bridge is now, like sort of that where it was, where that goblin scimitar has cut it down, that's hanging down. But then so those are basically your two options, and behind you is where the kennel, where the wolves were that you killed. Slayed in cold blood.
Well, now that we're not up high, I feel a bit more at home. You know, it's dark, it's moist next to a river, and I look at the others and I think we're good to proceed if we can.
Yeah, I'll follow the little guy.
Awesome. So as you are walking up and just you reach under where the bridge used to be, you hear in an echo in the cave, and it's a shriek of a goblin, and he says, "Flash 'em!" And all of a sudden you hear this smashing and battering of rocks, and there's this enormous tidal wave of water that sweeps around the corner of the cavern that is smashing straight towards the four of you. Just absolutely, you just absolutely blown away how much water. Like clearly there's been a dam, and it is just smashing around the corner, and you all need to roll a strength save.
So I'm in a predicament here because my headset and my mouse have both died at the same time, and I have one cable. So I'm gonna have to roll this like physically. But
Don't worry.
14.
All right.
Let me go get another cable. I can't even fucking leave my headset on. God damn it.
I am at a 6.
Oh, I don't have a cable.
6, 16. So sorry, what did you have? 14?
14.
Yeah. All right. So both LePage and Solomon grab, like immediately knee-jerk reaction, grab along the wall, and they're able to brace themselves for this torrent of water. Horatio, you have been sucked in and grabbed by this huge body, this tsunami of water that is flowing through the cavern. You are now in the water. Roll for a dexterity save. Ooh, big one. Very good. Dirty 20. All right, so there's like sticks and logs that have also broken through. There's the piece of the bridge that is smattered through with the wall, and it's actually lodged itself sort of in. You're now completely submerged in water, but you are able to leap forward and grab onto that structure that has lodged itself. So you brace yourself, and you are safe for the moment as the water subsides. You're all just absolutely soaking wet and drenched, and just sort of collecting yourself. And yeah, that's where you are. That's where I'll leave you.
This is very tiring. This is
I take off my jacket and I start to kind of like wring it out, and as I'm wringing it out, LePage starts to notice that like what once looked like a fine piece of clothing is slowly turning into like a bit of a weather and a wear. It's slowly like depreciating and ripping, and he's almost starting to think like, I kind of wish I brought another shirt.
It's dirty water too. Like
Yeah.
it's stinky water. Very stinky. Like it wasn't water would be an understatement. It was mud that was coming through there.
All right. Well,
I'm still here. I'm just looking for a cable.
I think we just kind of dredged through the mud.
Yeah. It has come down now, so like Horatio would be about up to here. So but otherwise you're sort of like waist deep for a normal humanoid.
Perfect.
Is there any way we can kind of like clear this shit out? I have
Do you want
nothing
to
clear.
you want to continue moving forward?
I'd like to continue forward.
I think we continue forward, yes.
Yep.
And I'm
All
now
right.
walking with my orb high above my
Yeah.
head.
Solomon's not going to carry you? Unbelievable.
He's busy. He's done it enough.
He is busy. He's looking for a cord or something.
Yeah, for some reason, like the shape of cable that, like the shape of the plug that my mouse takes is really specific, and I've got like 3 USB-C cables, and none of them fit in the fucking thing, except the one that's currently on my headset. But it's okay. I'll just charge my headset for as long as I need to, and then I'll swap them over when we have to do combat or something.
That's all right. Solomon's great sword is charging as we speak.
That is it.
Divine Smite is charged, or currently charging. Okay, so if you didn't hear that, Solomon, you are going to keep drudging through the water. It's a little bit deeper now. It's very dirty water, and you're walking up and up and up and up and up, and you come to a cavernous room. That you see in front of you. You can see like there's clearly been like a pool of water that has been dammed but then busted, so that like you can clearly see that was the body of water. Like it's been pooling from like a waterfall from wherever up above in the mountain. It's been pooling into these 2 pools, so there's a secondary pool that's completely full, like ready to burst. Like it looks like a second option as well that could be used. But clearly the one that has just been drained is right in front of you. And that's all you see for the moment. So it's like you've entered like a much larger room. It's like I'll take you there now so you get an idea of what it looks like shape wise. There you are. Can you all see that, or are you in the walls or anything? Yeah.
Okay.
I can see most of it.
Ratio is sort of in the front there. Okay, so you still have Sildar with you. Sildar is all drenched as well, and you're just sort of you're in this larger, probably the largest room you've been in actually in the cave thus far. You do see an opening with like some stone stairs to your immediate right as you walk the south side of the room, and there is like the light of a fire coming through that large opening as well.
Can we hear anything at the moment, or is it just us kind of grumbling about being wet?
You can roll a perception check.
Sounds good.
You hear the trickling of water, the flowing of a waterfall, and the sort of drudging of Sildar behind you as well, and the disgust of LePage and how drenched he is.
I kind of like look to the guys and I kind of say to them, it's like, I'm looking really worse for wear. I'm thinking maybe we should try to rest up and dry our clothes before we proceed deeper into this cave.
Yeah, I need a long rest.
You're laughing, but I think we all do.
We're in strife. Is it
What's
like,
that?
Given that they've already obviously destroyed the dam,
Yep.
is it in theory safe for us to head back out to where those goblins camped outside?
Yep. Very much in theory, yes.
I'm gonna suggest that then. Why don't we head back out? We'll set up where we found those goblins, use their campsite, use their campfire. We can take turns keeping watch, alert the others if we need to, and try and get a rest.
I think that might be the play.
I agree.
Before we head too deep into this cave.
I do not have the health to have any more surprises at this point.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the way it works as well is like a long rest requires 8 hours, 6 of which are asleep. So you like a party of 4 can take turns having 2-hour watches for the sake of safety.
Well, hopefully Sildar's a good dude.
That is true. That is very true.
No, Sildar agrees. He's like, yeah, I could use, like, if you have any bandages or anything, like I could use a bit of healing myself, and a rest would be well warranted. I'm very anxious to see if Gundren is in the rest of the cavern, but if we don't feel fit to take on whatever might be lying in here, I'm happy to risk a little bit of rest, as long as we can get back in there and see if my friend might be there.
Yeah, we'll definitely take care of your friend, but we do need to rest.
While we're back at camp, I wanna quiz Sildar a little bit more about Gundren, and just
Yep.
kind of ask him, like, in your conversations with Gundren, has he told you anything about his past, or anything at all that seemed interesting about him? He seems familiar to me, but I don't know where from.
So Sildar says to you, look, I know Gundren. I know him not very well. I know that him and his brothers. Then let me get this right so you can write them down. His brothers Nundrin and Tharno are very noble. I do know for a fact that their family had history or heritage many years ago in Phandalin. And are you aware of, and not to defer from your question, but are you aware of the history of Phandalin, and that might help to tie things together? Are any of you aware of the history of this place?
Can I make a history check? I don't know if I am. I don't know if Solomon's ever been there or not.
You can. I don't think any of you have. Is that? I don't think.
I definitely haven't. I've never left town, so.
No.
Would I have heard anything about it, just from like words through travel? Like, Solomon's overall well traveled. Would he have heard anything?
Sildar looks like he's happy to tell you. So,
oh, okay.
Yeah. He looks. He's almost inviting it. So he's saying like he wants to tell you. He wants to try and like shed some light on the situation, and maybe it can tie things together with Gundren. So,
Right.
well. This town, while you've probably never heard much about it other than it being used for the occasional comings and goings and trade and a lot of mining. There's obviously some precious stones in the hills and gold, but really the great history of Phandalin started 500 years ago, and at that time there was Phandalin was completely different. It was a town that was full of prosperous dwarves and gnomes. There was a pact that has hardly ever happened in the history of the Sword Coast, where gnomes and dwarves actually worked together. And the reason they worked together is there was this unbelievable find of what was known as the Wave Echo Cave. And in this magical cave, there was stones of immeasurable wealth, magical stones of immeasurable wealth, and the gnomes and the dwarves working together were actually able to build one of the most amazing forges ever known in history. It was called the Forge of, I can't remember, but I'll come back to that. It was this magical forge that was used to build magical weapons, magical tools, magical armor, and the town of Phandalin just exploded in wealth. Very, very tragically, we know not every bit of the past, but there was a bandit gang that started to gain momentum in the area, and a terrible war broke out between the dwarves, gnomes, and even some of the magical wizards that were helping them in building this forge. There was this huge battle that ensued at Wave Echo Cave, and the battle actually destroyed the cave, as far as we know, and the forge with it. Where Gundren came along, though, is Gundren came to my order, the Lord's Alliance, and he told me that him and his brothers had found an alternate way, an alternate route into Wave Echo Cave, and he, needing assistance, he asked us to come and help and see if we could restore Phandalin to its possible former glory from many years ago. And that's why my colleague Yarno was sent here he was sent here first before me, And yeah, we haven't heard from him in months. But no, I don't. I know that Gundren and his brothers are very well renowned in this part of the world. They've been miners here for a long time. They're very well liked and noble and heart, and obviously they have allegiance with the Lord's Alliance as well. So very very reputable family in this area. But I don't know a whole lot more, other than I know that there's some ties that he had to in his family to the mines themselves, and I know that it has been his lifelong goal to find this cave and restore the forge.
It's interesting, but if he spent his whole life here, I can't imagine how he could possibly be linked to me.
He hasn't spent his whole life here. He's been researching. He's been traveling from place to place, trying to find information or any source of information that could be found, in order to find. Like, basically, he's been a historian, much like myself, in trying to find any information out about. I haven't specifically, obviously, focused on Phandalin and its history itself, but the realm in its entirety. But you could say Gundren would be. He's a traveler. He's spent most of the last few years here, certainly. But yeah, before then he was looking from north to south on the coast, trying to find any information out that he could about the Wave Echo Cave and what happened here.
So he seems well traveled.
Yes.
Perhaps someone I've stumbled across then in my own travels. I'll have to. Hope we can meet up with him again to confirm.
Brilliant. Yeah, so I know Gundren was well connected all along the Sword Coast, and again had a great reputation throughout. I'm so thankful that you were able to obviously see that in your early and probably a short period of time with him. Can you tell me, like, how did you meet Gundren? And it's okay if you don't remember. I can remind you.
No. Well,
saw him in a tavern.
Yeah, similarly, when we met each other, we sort of just all rocked up at a tavern. There was very little room. The three of us sat down talking. Drinks were flowing, and a fight broke out. And we actually ended up rescuing Gundren from this, I suppose, gang you could call it. They all bear similar markings, sort of like a spider sort of emblem, if I remember correctly.
Interesting. So he was under attack before we left. He never told me that.
It's hard to tell. The fight seemed like just a big tavern brawl, but he was definitely singled out outside the tavern by a specific group.
Any
whether or not
like
they
markings or anything that you could see that might have been interesting?
I vaguely remember them having like a spider sort of sigil on their armor, but there was definitely one. There was one leader, a woman in black armor. Very sort of intimidating, but Gundren didn't tell us anything about them. Sort of kept it quiet, if anything.
Interesting. I wonder if it must have not crossed his mind of much importance when we were traveling here together to bring it up. But I did hear the whispers of someone from the goblins when I was in captivity, someone called the Black Spider. I did one day when I was here. I even heard a woman's voice through the cavern. I wonder if there could potentially be a connection, but I know not.
I suppose at first light we'll have to press on and see what we can find out.
Brilliant. Let's leave it at that then. Any other questions that you had about the history of Phandalin? The Forge of Spells was the name of the forge. Apologies. So Wave Echo Cave was the home of a dwarf and gnome built Forge of Spells under the Phandelver Pact. Phandelver was a very, very prosperous town that was full of magical people, wizards, historians, almost like opposite to what you believe you're going to, which is like a frontier redneck western town.
Right.
But huge, like almost, I'm not gonna, more than a battle, like basically a war broke out between some bandits is like a small word, like it was a well-organized group of criminals that basically besieged Wave Echo Cave and destroyed it, along with all the gnomes, dwarves, and themselves, and it collapsed.
All right. Are we ready to rest here?
I believe so. I'm going to quickly plug my mouse in.
I think we are, and I've just found out that I do have a lantern, and I actually have a backpack, which I hadn't opened yet. I've got a lot of tools, but I have an orb, so you know it works for me. But I'm keen for the long rest. Yeah.
I've clicked long rest.
Nice. Amongst Horatio's enormous bodice, he finds a backpack.
Where did this magical lantern come from? All right. So yeah, so we tried off. We've rang out our clothes. We've had a good rest.
Sorry, just quickly, Brad, did you say it was called Spell Echo Forge? Did I get that right?
Forge of Spells.
Forge of
Pretty
Spells.
pretty vanilla name there.
Wave
That's
Echo
okay.
Cave.
That's right, yeah.
Forge of Spells. It was at the time, as far as Sildar knew, like this is where the greatest magical artifacts, like you're talking about, like even Tash and like the big three wizards would all come here to build their magical items. But hasn't been around in 500 years. Long time ago. Excuse me. All right, are we all rested up?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah.
All right. Would you like me to take you back to where you walked out?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, head
Back to
the
that
same
room?
way.
Yeah.
Just give me 30 seconds. I'm just going to see if it's still on the spare mouse that is cabled.
I looked at my health and I was like, yeah, if we're gonna go into a big room, like
How much health did you have?
I had 7 or 8 hit points left.
I had 3.
Yeah.
So that was got my.
All right.
Yeah,
So
so your journey back through the cavern, relatively uneventful. Like nothing's really changed. The water level's gone back to what it was when you first got there. When you get back to the room, it does look like, so it's the next morning, it does look like there was some beds and things, like little goblin setups, little camps, but you don't see anyone right now. So it does look like there were some people that were like some things that were asleep here overnight.
So I look over at my little friend Horatio and I say, kind of with a bit of a charm, and I was like, "Would you like to scout ahead for us, there, little friend, little stealthy friend, and take a little look, see what we're getting ourselves into?"
It'd be my pleasure. Someone of my stature. I would like to cautiously go ahead and see if I can explore and find out what's happening in that room.
Great. So you're gonna walk over to the doorway. So inside this, so it's another large cavern that you can see in front of you. There's actually a roaring bonfire in the middle of it, and I'll get you to roll a stealth check.
Is this group stealth or is this for Horatio?
Just Horatio's ahead. So
A 9.
That's a. Wait, you have +6 to stealth?
I've got
Jesus.
+6 stealth. Yeah,
You
so I
rolled
thought
a
it was gonna
9.
be good. And I
Yeah.
You said you were saving those the bad rolls for the game, so that there you
that's
go.
it.
Okay, so Horatio like approaches sort of like cautiously up against the wall to this clearly like light blasting through this one large kind of grand opening staircase. As he goes to tip his head out from behind the wall to see into the next larger room with the bonfire, he sort of trips over the staircase and makes it makes a large clunk sound. And from within the room, he does see in front of him, almost like it's basically the largest humanoid being that he has ever seen. It is a bugbear. He is jacked beyond belief. He's standing like 9 feet tall. So this is like, and Horatio,
Enormous.
this is like your characters. This is the biggest humanoid thing you've ever seen ever before. Everything else is wiped. This guy's enormous.
Good time to foul a stealth check is what you're
and
saying.
he's almost like standing there, or sorry, he's sitting there on like this cool kind of throne of skulls and bones and but he's almost like you sort of knock over on the staircase and he's like expecting you basically. He just knew you were coming. And next to him, he's stroking the head of this again enormous wolf, like dire wolf looking thing, but wolf is a strong word. Like, remember what I said about the dogs in the previous room? These guys are just like sickly looking. Like they're not majestic wolves. This one is like, it's got one of its eye like gashed through, and it's even armored though. Like it's boss. It's a boss like mangy dog wolf thing. But yeah, he's sort of just standing there like expecting Horatio, basically.
So obviously we can't see what Horatio can see.
You don't know anything that just happened. Yeah.
Yeah, out of character. Yeah. So is there? Could we like? So I kind of like wave to Horatio and I just like try to get his attention, and just be like what's going on?
Horatio's kind of looked back, seen LePage, and just kind of gone. They just looked forward again and looked at the old mate, and Horatio, he's got some loyalty to him. He doesn't want to give away that there's other people here.
Okay.
But he kind of just gets to his feet, looks at this big boss thing and says, "You're not Yemik," and then goes to slowly walk back down the stairs that he just tripped up. That is not Yemik. On the screen.
Okay. Well, Horatio's like relayed this little bit of information to us that it looks like there's something ahead. I'm gonna pop on some mage armor.
All right.
Quickly before this fight starts, because it's gonna obviously it's gonna get fucking hectic in a second.
And so as this is sort of happening as well, like the bugbear that's sitting on the throne stroking the wolf, he's just almost like it's like comical to him because he's like seen this large overweight like thing trying to be stealthy and just like plunking his way up onto his staircase, and he just says, "I've been expecting you. Why don't you come on in then?"
Do I have to? Yeah, okay. I'll come have a chat, and I'll take just a couple steps closer and just stand there with my little hands together. Who are you? Who might you be?
And he says, "Give me 3 reasons I shouldn't knock your head right off its shoulders now."
Bro, 3 is a stretch.
Do I? I can give you 1. There's I can't even think.
Look, I've heard the commotion the last day or so in these caverns, and I've been wondering how long it was going to take whoever it was to get here. So tell me, firstly, tell me, how did you get past all my guards? I've seen bigger pieces of corn in my crap.
Yeah, let's just say I'm very lucky, especially with my rolls. But I don't know. It's just I wanted to come see the little puppy, and I'm here. So do we have to do this?
Do we have to do what? You've wandered into my house. Now I'm going to squash you and kill you.
That. I will also slowly rest my hand on my little sword next to me in anticipation, and kind of look back towards LePage and kind of do a little signal to maybe come help me here, and
Can we see him?
You could, yeah. I mean, you guys could sort of see him. Like maybe you could see like just the back of him. Yeah, like you can see the shadow like casting
So we
across.
can hear the conversation and all that though.
You can hear that. You can tell there's a being in the room speaking to him, and he's clearly speaking to someone else. Yeah.
Okay.
But he's like the bugbear is almost like just at this stage laughing. It's just like he's almost shocked though. He doesn't understand how just this one halfling was able to get past all of his guards' traps and find his way here. And now he's like, you must enlighten me here. I don't know what your name is. I honestly don't care. I'm about to kill you. But why did you come in here?
I was looking for someone. I had a bit of a swim back there, and there's also a bonfire, and I'm just trying to dry off. So, would it be okay if I were to sit by your fire for a little bit without you squashing me?
He's almost like actually roll the what's it called the charisma saving a charisma check. Yeah, what's it called?
Persuasion.
Persuasion.
Done. 18.
So humored by, again, like he's so like the bugbear's so unintimidated by this situation. He's like, you can come dry yourself off if you want, but yeah, look, I am about to kill you. So you just let me know how you'd like me to do it. If you'd like my dog to rip you to pieces, but I'll humor you. My name's Clarg, by the way.
The name's Horatio. It's lovely to meet you. And I am currently in awe at his size, considering he is 3 times my height and probably the same width. So
he almost like stands up as well and like walks like thunks over to you as well, just to like show his size as well. Like he's just blown away by how small you are.
All right. I think we start obviously walking up there to back our buddy up, but we're like sitting around the corner just where they can't see us. We're as close as we possibly can without breaking like line of sight.
Yeah.
Is old Buggy Bear walking towards me, or is he kind of just standing?
He's just sort of like standing. He's like he's in a bit of a state of shock. Like a halfling has just wandered into his lair, and he's almost like he's blown away a little bit.
Okay, I want to reach into my backpack, and kind of just fumbling while staring at him, and I also want to, if possible, pull out the ball bearings from my backpack and kind of just throw them in front of me as like a last-ditch effort, because I am currently shaking right now with the prospect of no hope right in front of me.
Sorry, what are you throwing? Ball
bearings.
What ball bearings? Where are you throwing them?
Just on the ground.
What?
It's okay. So all Clark sees in front of him is like, again, just he's marbles. Like almost, yeah, he's like, what the, yeah, he's like, what the fuck, why are you throwing marbles on my ground? And like, how many ball bearings are there? Like, how many are we talking?
It says
a bunch, like a bag full.
Ball bearings. They spread to cover a level 10-foot square within 10 feet of yourself. Jesus.
So
it takes.
So Solomon and LePage like see, all they see is just like boom, boom, boom.
I let out a little bit of like a laugh here because this is starting to get comical, and I just kind of just like chuckle, like almost like an immature chuckle, like the young dude, and I'm just like, oh fuck, like I catch my mouth at the same time.
Clark says to you, I was about to ask, are you alone here, young man?
Not really. But
why don't you all show yourselves then? It sounds like mommy and daddy might be with you.
Daddy definitely is.
Now I'm curious, which one's daddy?
We're both up.
We're about to find out.
Yeah. He's got 2 daddies. We're progressive.
And he says, "Look, I'm getting tired of these games now. First I'll kill you, and I'll kill anyone who else has ventured into my cavern with you."
All right. Before we do initiative, can I click my mage armor? It's paused. I didn't want to interrupt the story, but I can't put my mage armor on.
Just do it manually.
I can't.
No, as in like you have you pressed edit? You have to press edit. So at the top left of your character sheet, press edit. Change it to edit mode, and then click your armor class and just do it manually.
I don't know how much armor it's supposed to give me though, because I
2.
can't click. Okay. No, it doesn't let me update right now.
I should be able to do that for you. That's probably because of games. You know why? The game's paused. You probably can't do it. Now you can
That's what
probably
I
do
s-
everything. Sorry.
If only.
Did I not just say that?
No, it was my bad. Sorry. I missed it. I honestly didn't hear you.
It's still not letting me do anything.
Just manually track it.
Yeah, manually
All right.
track it.
Yeah, it's fine. All right.
Yeah,
Cool.
manually track it. You have an additional 2 armor. Okay.
Yep.
So he is just like, he's getting a bit like tired. Like it's early in the morning. He looks a bit hungry. He's like sort of licking his lips. He looks like he's going to eat the skin right off of Horatio's bones. He has heard something in the background. He doesn't particularly care. Like, he's not very intimidated, but are you two going to show yourself and,
Yeah. I'm gonna kind of like walk around the corner with like my obviously my hand still kind of like over my mouth, because I just find this kind of so comical at this point.
let's just bring you up here.
Yeah, I will as well, because I'm not passing it.
I'm just going to bring you in the room so you can see everything that's going on, but don't worry about like position wise on the VTT. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So again, so the 2 of you walk up and see exactly the scene. Like, you don't know what you were like, what this was before, but both of you walk in to the room, sort of walk up the stairs. LePage trips over a ball bearing on the way up, smacks his head, and all of a sudden you get to the top of the stairs and you see this scene of Horatio just sort of like fumbling through his backpack, dropping marbles all over the place. This enormous, again, all 3 of you, this is the largest humanoid any 3 of you have ever seen. And even Solomon, it's the largest humanoid. So he may have seen like bigger animals or creatures or things, but like humanoid, goblinoid type thing, this is the biggest. He's standing 9 feet tall and just jacked out of his mind. And so he sees the 3 of you now and sizes you up, and he's again not very intimidated, and pets his wolf on the side of him, his dire wolf, and he says, you brought another teenager with you and an old man. So tell me, please humor me. What are you all doing here?
Well, this teenager would love to have a little chat with your puppy. And I'm
A chat with my puppy.
I'm
and
gonna
it like,
use,
grah.
I'm gonna use speak with animals on his puppy, and I'm gonna say, why don't you join us?
And he says, I'm gonna eat your soul.
And again, like, I just did one of these and I was like, shit. I'm not talking my way out of this one. All right.
Come one step closer and I'll rip your soul out and show it to you.
All right, Solomon. I've tried. I've tried.
Yeah, I'm out.
Yeah, we're all out of talking here.
Not necessarily. I've forgotten the little goblin guy's name again, because I'm
Yimmick.
I'm gonna step forward and ask him, do you know of Yimmick? Because he sure has some things to say about you.
Yimmick? What do you mean, one of the guards that lives in the few rooms over?
Yeah, the guard that he and his little posse have been planning on killing you and taking your throne. And
Killing me and taking my throne?
Sent us to do his dirty work for him.
That's quite humorous. I can't imagine the 3 of you having much of a say over that, but it does surprise me that Yimmick is defecting, as you say. To be honest with you, I don't even believe you.
Well, I'd be more than happy to accompany you back to his chambers and we can find out.
I'm pretty comfortable in my throne room, to be honest with you. I'll deal with you now and I'll deal with him later. If that is the case, I'll rip him in half.
Sounds good, and I unsheath my sword and push between the 2 of them and walk straight up to this motherfucker.
All right. So you unsheath your sword and we're fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right,
There's
so
there's no talking our way out of this.
he says like just about time, and just takes out his enormous. Does he have a maul or something? He has a huge morning star, so it's like clipped to his back, and he takes this huge morning star like spiked ball all along the top, and it's massive. Like again, the ball itself is almost the size of Horatio. And Horatio's just trying to get his marbles back in his bag. And the territory is difficult for everyone.
As I'm standing in front of them, I just like nudge Horatio. I'm gonna strap you to that plank of wood.
All right, so I'm gonna get you. We are going to, if I can remember how to do it, I'm gonna get you all to roll for initiative then, because Clark is fucking ready for it. And just like so everyone's aware of like the setting as well, I do have, so again, don't worry too much about the VTT. Let's like theater of mind it in that Horatio is still closest to Clark, because he was sort of by the fire with him. The two of you have stepped behind. You are all like the room itself is like 50 feet, so you're all you didn't get to before he was ready, before initiative was thrown. You drew your sword and he was, yeah. So you're all within striking distance. So like it doesn't really matter. I didn't even need to say that. Like everyone's sort of within range. Don't worry too much again about the squares and the VTT. And we are going to begin combat with Horatio, who's just got his. It is so the ground is difficult to walk on. There's marbles all over it. It's easy to trip and fall, and you do have to proceed with caution if you are going to try to move.
Okay.
Who do we have to thank for that? I'm curious.
I don't know. I think I just got a bit nervous and
Yeah, dropped your marbles.
it sounded good at the time. All right. If that is the case, are we? When you say we're within striking distance, like we're in melee distance already. Or,
you are. He's not yet. Like he's
okay.
still. He's probably 15 feet from you. 20 feet from everybody. Like, yeah.
Okay. If that's the case, then in a swift move, I'm just gonna go ahead and draw the trusty old short bow. But I am going to aim it at the dire wolf first.
All right. Yep.
So roll for that one. Ooh.
Oh.
All right.
That's 20.
Horatio,
Right.
despite being looking very encumbered by all the marbles in his backpack and dropping them, has just rolled a nat 20.
Is this a critical hit then?
That is a critical hit. You are hitting on. Yes. Yep. So you roll critical hit damage.
6.
6. Was that a critical?
Yeah, critical.
Awesome. Okay, great. So with your short bow, obviously, have you moved at all in the turn, or no? You just took out your bow and fired.
Just hands out of the bag, quickly draw on the short bow and let loose.
Awesome. You strike the direwolf in the side. It sends it reeling a little bit, and you've got an arrow into it, but it's just growls and sort of looks forward.
And I think I will just stand there staring at the wolf, and then my turn.
End of your turn?
Yeah, end of my turn.
LePage.
LePage casts poison spray on the bugbear, the big boy.
Big boy Clark. That is going to hit.
Perfect.
That is going to be 1 damage. What does it look like when you shoot poison spray?
Well, normally it's supposed to look like a poison spray that goes out and drenches the bugbear in poison,
The nozzle's blocked.
but only like a little like spurt of poison spray comes out, and I guess LePage is like still cleaning the mud off of his hands and trying to like get the rest of the gunk off. Maybe he didn't get too clean coming back into the tunnel.
All right, awesome. So yeah, you do. It does like sprinkle on the enormous bicep of Clark, but it just like singes him a little bit, and he again just like smiles. He's almost like in a bit of a bloodlust. Like, here we go. All right. But he's almost like, that's exactly what I was expecting from you.
Yeah. And I end my turn.
Solomon.
Yeah, so I want to charge forward straight at Clark.
Yep.
And basically just like bring my sword up and sort of like try and smack him across the chin with the pommel.
All right.
Just sort of like an uppercut with the
Yep.
pommel of the sword.
With your greatsword.
14.
You are going to miss with that pommel strike.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Did damage actually come off of the bugbear? I didn't see it.
Are you meant to see it?
Usually I have like a little blood tick and it'll be like 1 HP drop.
Probably because you only did one blood.
You
one
only
damage.
did 1 damage. It probably wouldn't drop.
There won't be much blood. I did like 100 damage in our last one shot, and there was not that much blood.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's like a random effect. Yeah. You did 1 damage though. I promise.
Yeah, I'm just making sure.
Don't worry about it.
I'm making sure my damage is fine.
I did damage. Damn it.
More damage than Solomon.
Yes, Solomon, you missed with that strike. You got right up in his business, and again, like he sort of like dodged it with his chin, and or he like glanced it off with his big arm.
That is the end of my turn.
All right. So Clark turns to his dog wolf being thing and says, "Go, Ripper!" And he Ripper like jumps and leaps towards Solomon. Solomon obviously being right in front of Clark, and he is going to attack with. He's going to try and bite, and he's going to. So the dog jumps in the air, like the dog's been sitting there drooling for like minutes now, and he's over excited and enthused, and he jumps up and completely clean misses Solomon and knocks himself into the walls over here.
Just grab him by the snout as he's jumping at me and just like palm him off and just turn to Clark and just like, you called your dog Ripper. Like, the least creative name you could possibly have thought of. Ripper.
It's a D&D module.
And he can't even do that. He can't even rip.
Ripper,
Useless.
rip.
Useless.
Nah, never mind then. Well, I'll take it from here, Ripper. And he he takes out he winds up with that huge morning star, and he goes into for the attack on Solomon.
That hits.
That hits, and he is going to do with a massive whack of his morning stars, cracks the old man across the face and does 11 bludgeoning damage.
Out of character, if I'm the tanky one, we might be fucked. Because that's a significant amount of damage.
Yeah, that's big damage.
Can I just ask, was Sildar not with us? Should he not be in initiative order here?
Sildar was with you. Yes, sorry, that was my mistake. My mistake.
Didn't we convince him to help us?
Yeah, I will add him to combat.
He should also he should be long rested as well.
Yeah, all good. I've got that covered. Yep, I'll just get him in here. Let's see what he would have rolled, and I can... Oh, well, there you go. Happy days, everyone. Let's see what Sildar can do. So Sildar, he didn't get the full effects of the long rest because he didn't actually have the medicine to like heal his wounds in their entirety, but he's definitely a lot better than he was today. And he actually grabs he's not. He doesn't look like he's ready for quite ready martial combat, but he does have a crossbow that he gets out, and he's gonna take a shot at Clark with the crossbow.
Yeah.
Nice. Sildar's coming through with the goods, and he says like, "Die, monster." And yeah, shoots a crossbow bolt into his shoulder, dealing 2 piercing damage. I'm happy if you guys want to control Sildar as well. Like if one of you just wants to say what he
No,
like,
no, that's all good.
I don't care.
NBC.
All right, great. He ends his turn, and it's back to Big Horatio,
The big guy.
the big guy.
Alrighty, Horatio's gonna take on the one that's closer to his size, so I'm gonna still got the short bow out. I'm gonna attack the dire wolf again, and if it hits, I'm gonna hit with sneak attack.
Yep. Wolf.
Does an 18 hit?
It does hit. Yep.
Perfect. Alright. I'll
Yep.
hit normal damage, and then sneak attack.
Fucking rolls. So 6 damage, is that right? With another arrow into the large direwolf for 6 piercing damage, and Clark's like, "Ripper, no!" But he is still alive.
Perfect. I have been hitting, so I'm going to keep my feet planted, and I'm going to end my turn again.
I should have made Solomon do a dexterity save to be able to walk across the marbles.
Should have, but you didn't.
Yeah. So you're all like fighting now around this big fireplace, this like huge bonfire. There's obviously marbles like sort of bouncing, sort of in a frictionless state around the room. And it's LePage. Sorry, Horatio, you done your turn?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, LePage.
All right. So, LePage is a little disappointed in himself from that piss poor effort. So he's going to go for an Eldritch Blast on the big guy to kind of set the tone.
All right.
Fuck.
That is going to miss, unfortunately.
Oh, this is not good.
Do you guys have different dice, or?
Yeah, you know. Anything else
Obviously
I can do
haven't
here?
been spending enough at roll with advantage.
Spent fucking plenty, mate.
Yeah.
I got nothing. All right, that's my turn. I might have to go fucking heavy next roll here, bud. Sorry. Sorry, Solomon.
So it's me now, is it?
It
Yeah,
is
I
you. Yep. It is you.
Pull out
Yep.
the
So
dagger
Solomon, you are surrounded. You've got obviously Clark at your front. You've got the dog that you've just thrown off to the side. That smashed into a few boxes when you knocked his nuzzle away. And yeah, that's where we're at. So then you've got like the boys are behind you as well.
Alright. I am going to cast Bless on myself, LePage, and on Horatio.
Ooh.
So you basically, whenever you make an attack roll or a saving throw, you add a 1d4.
That's strong.
And I'm going to use that for my action, and for my bonus action, I am going to use Lay on Hands on myself.
Is that bonus
And
action? That's good.
It is, yes.
That's strong. I didn't
And-
realize that.
Heal 10 hit points.
Does that take Channel Divinity or a magical spell slot?
It's just a paladin feature. I can just do it once per short rest. Oh, a long rest, sorry.
Got it. Awesome. You don't need to roll that. It's just going to be there. Oh, I have to. Never mind. Don't worry. It came up for me. All good.
What do I got to roll?
Nothing. Don't worry about
Okay.
it. Okay, so did you get some healing?
I did.
Nice. Okay, what are you at now? Yeah, perfect. Okay, cool. And that's your turn?
Yes.
All right, great. So back over to the big Ripper. Ripper is going. So Clark says to Ripper, he says, Ripper, rip that kid's head off. And Ripper rushes over to Horatio. And he actually is going to have to do a save to get across the floor.
Ripper's useless, bro.
Which he does not. So Ripper, again, like he's still super enthused and excited about this whole situation. He's got like blood in his mouth. He's got like it's he just runs across the floor, trips on the ball bearings, slips and falls right next to Horatio. But that ends his turn.
Would you say he is prone?
He's
I'm
no.
pretty sure it's
He's
is that not exactly how ball bearings work? If you fail,
Yeah,
to save,
is
you
it
go
thrown
prone.
is that what
to
it
the
is?
cat.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
prone. All right, sure, he's prone. Yeah, he fell prone.
Sorry, GM, but
Great.
Just say sorry. He just did like almost all my health in one hit.
Yeah.
I'm just-
Don't say
I-
sorry.
I'm not trying to be that guy.
What's
Pick up
that
that DM.
stupid thing? Can you guys see that green like?
That's the ball
whatever.
bearings template.
Oh, is that the ball bearings? Is that where they
Yeah.
are?
I just
That's
clicked it to
amazing.
tell me to place it, so
I love
put
it.
down
Okay.
Where we are.
Everyone aware that the green template is where all the ball bearings have. There's some like scattering around the room, but they're all like sort of congregating back, bouncing off the walls, bang, 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 bang. And the wolf just fell through them, fell prone, and clacked his head. And it is now the big guy's turn, and he is going to go for. He's actually going to, like, he's enthused by this whole fight. It's not scaring him in any way, and he goes over to the bonfire and like pulls out this huge piece of wood that he's freshly put on the fire. And now he's like sort of dual wielding. He's got like the big branded fire thing in his hand, and he looks back to Solomon.
So, sorry, what path does he take to the campfire? Because surely there's an opportunity attack there.
There isn't. You're next to it. He just grabs it out of the fire. That's why I said don't look at the tabletop as best you can. Just flavor. Just hear me out, mate.
He wants to slam you, mate.
He just wants to beat you up.
It's just flavor.
So for flavor, I'm going to do the same thing on my turn then. Fuck
That's
you.
fine. Absolutely fine. I like it. Perfect. Okay, so Clark has a big piece of wood in his hand, and he is going to attack. He's attacking Solomon as well.
Jesus.
I mean, I'm pretty sure roll to
dirty.
hit we are supposed to see.
Are you supposed to see that? Is
Yeah,
that right?
roll-
Do you want to
Yeah,
see?
but- yes.
Okay.
Roll to hit and damage we are supposed to see.
No, but he can also hide
No,
if it's
you're not supposed to see. It's my choice entirely.
yeah, he
But
can
if you
also hide
do, you
it
want
based
to
on the
roll to
fight.
see? Do you want to roll to see? To
you
see
mean?
hit? Sorry.
I think it makes sense to say hit,
Okay, sure, but not damage. Yeah.
especially with stuff that we have to self-police. Like if we have an armor bonus like Curtis does, you know what I mean? Like
Yes, absolutely. Well, I'll always say the number. Right? I'd always say the number.
okay,
Yeah, I know what
Okay.
you're saying though. I'm happy to roll to. I'll show my rolls to hit. So that was a natural 20 that Clark just hit with his flaming brand.
cool.
Cool.
D&D's fun.
Are you having fun?
I was
Solomon?
just sitting there the whole time thinking like, shit, how am I gonna play this? All right, and this. All right, so again with his massive brand of fire, he cracks you across the other side of the face and inflicts another 11 bludgeoning damage. Laughing the whole time as he does it. And now I will get you to roll a concentration save,
Cool.
which is just roll a dice, and I'll tell you if
Yeah,
you
yeah.
made it. Yeah. I think it should say it's DC 10.
It does. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Oh
cool.
my god.
Bro, fuck D&D, man.
Have you guys rolled above a 10 tonight?
I've only rolled one hit. Actually, no. Horatio rolled one.
I've done well in the combat.
Sildar at this stage is like looking like left and right. He's like, fucking
He's like,
hell.
who did I
Like,
bring? Yeah.
yeah, like what is going on here? I expected something, but I don't know how much. And look, he
I
is
mean, he
he's
hasn't fucking done anything useful.
he's
either.
he's absolutely not. He hasn't. He is a knight, and he does actually, like, he's like, I need to intervene here, and he takes out his longsword and rushes towards the dog. Actually, the dog's right in front of him, so he's gonna take a swing at the dog.
And that swing should be with advantage.
No, he
Yes.
doesn't have blur. Oh wait, you're on
He's
the dog.
prone.
Just making sure we need any tool
Absolutely.
we can get.
Absolutely. And that is going to hit that dog. Sildar. Sildar, there he comes. Damage. I'll show you that.
Thank you. Perfect.
Sildar, bringing home the goods. So
Great ball bearings.
Um,
Horatius.
Sildar actually, again, like, he looks left, looks right. He's like, what the fuck have I got myself into? He rushes forward and he slices the head clean off the dog with his longsword, like he's done it 100 times before, and he kills Ripper. Clark immediately, like, looks to the right, and he's like, shit's really real now. All of a sudden, he's like in a bloodlust roar, like this was his best friend that you just murdered.
And he's got like 4 other best friends chained up at the front door, but sure.
This one's like double, triple the size, though. This one's a big badass one.
His real big best friend.
Big bad. Oh, yeah.
All right. So it's my go. I don't think I can do anything to save you or get you up. Are you incapacitated?
Who?
Solomon, sorry.
No, I'm just hurting.
Oh, you're just hurting?
He's
Oh,
bleeding.
That's fine.
I'm just in pain, bro.
Yeah.
What I can do, because you're coming up soon. Are you going to be attacking him? Well, am I allowed to ask that?
I mean, it's all I can really do at the moment, anyway.
Because
So I think you are allowed to ask it. Like, we can have dialogue, in theory.
Definitely.
I potentially might have something to help with that big stick that you were planning to grab earlier. I want to throw a pot of oil at Clark to try and
Ooh.
douse him in oil.
So you're just carrying a pot of oil in your backpack.
I've got 7 of them.
Where did
So-
you get
Nice.
this shit, bro?
Yeah,
What?
where does
It's
he?
in the backpack with my marbles.
This is cheating.
I didn't get a backpack when I built my character.
I like it. It's full of flavor.
There you go. So oil.
Yes. Dousing. When you take these, you can replace one of your attacks with throwing. Yep.
Yep.
Throwing like I am currently doing.
Okay. Yep. All right. I have
thank
to
you.
roll, don't I?
Yeah, you have to do a dex save.
No, sorry, that was you. My bad.
Oh. Okay.
He's cheating.
He's cheating.
He's fucking...
Clark sees it coming a mile away, and like swats the flask away.
All right. So that's fun. I would like to. Am I just looking at size of people? Is anyone bigger than small? What's that
I
thing on
am.
the page? Yeah. You're about to get sent into oblivion. What size are you, LePage? As a
I'm like 5'9", I
No,
think.
there's like an actual measurement thing. I'm trying to remember where it
Yeah, I
says
think
it.
you're all normal sized, except sorry,
I'm
no.
so on
Horatio's
the
not.
home page under your race, it'll say it.
Oh, medium. Yeah.
Medium.
Oh,
Yeah.
perfect. I'm gonna take my bonus action as hiding behind
Yep.
LePage and disappearing from sight.
All right.
And then that will be my go.
All right. Well, that screws up my plan because I was gonna go for a Hadar, and I've got to be in position to do that. I'm gonna do a cloud of daggers on Karg,
Yep.
and I'm hoping that this actually supports Solomon in this fight because I'm starting to feel like I've really let him down. Like I was really trying to like make up for the casting on him last fight, so I'm gonna try to do a Cloud of daggers on him right now.
I feel like your character would be extremely frightened at the moment as well, but correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah,
LePage.
he's completely overwhelmed. Like he's trying
Yeah.
his very best, and he's like everything he's doing isn't enough. All right, so this is just damage, right? Like, it's just an
Yes.
action? Yeah, it's
Yes.
not
Yes. It is just damage, and yeah, obviously a spell slot. Yep.
All right, and then just roll.
Blah.
Finally.
Nice. Wow. Okay.
Finally.
Nice.
What does that look like though? The cloud of daggers. Surely
So-
that's got something cool
So
going on.
I look over to Solomon and I see that he's weakening and he's getting his ass kicked. He's doing everything he can possibly do to stay alive for the party. And I just like call on myself and I just like look inwards and I cast the cloud of daggers and then just fucking daggers start shooting out of the sky straight down to the ground and landing all over Karg.
Yeah, and like 14 of them hit him and impale him in different ways. He's covered in blood.
And then I just end my turn because that's all I can do.
Solomon, what do you got for us?
Not much, bro. I've got a great sword. I'm gonna swing it. I don't know what to tell you.
Divine Smite. Oh, that
30.
is going
No,
to
that's-
hit.
Thank fucking lord.
You got him. You got him. You hit
Okay,
him.
so I see him in the cloud of daggers, and I just yell out to him, "Do you like the little blades? How about a big one?" And the blade lights up, and I am going to smite as well.
Oh my goodness. He's unlocking it.
I just need to double check something. I'm fairly sure I can do one free smite without a spell slot. I can cast without expending a spell slot.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, once per long rest.
Nice. Free smites.
So this is greatsword damage. And this
Yep.
is the extra for the smite.
Here it
And this
comes.
is radiant damage. So 17 total.
Ooh, very nice. You are going to kill Clark. How would you like to
thank
do
the
it?
fucking lord. Bro,
You
I just
are
wanted to
killing him.
I just wanted to decapitate the fucker, eh?
Yeah,
I
just
yeah,
simple, straight to the point.
yeah, just cut his head off.
All right. With a show of force to big Sildar that's behind you, you go up and clean slice his head off with the radiant sword cutting through him and bursting like that radiant energy up through his neck as he just sort of stands there. And like a giant colossal figure just goes and crashes onto the floor. And that is the end of the fight. Well done, everyone.
Jeez.
Touch and go with Solomon, but we got there.
Bro,
You boys clutched
I'm looking through all like 2 of the things I could do. I can't do anything about this, bro. I just got to keep hitting him.
Considering LePage and Solomon missed both at the start and then absolutely just destroyed him, that's good.
Well, like I was getting to the point where it's like nothing I was doing was working, so it was like I need to go big dick.
I didn't hit him, so I was like, maybe if I just bless, that'll work. And then I'm like, fuck, it's concentration, and just sure enough, immediately fail a con save.
Well, like if you didn't have a heal, you would have died. Like no, there was no way you survived that without. Leon
I have
dying.
6 HP.
Yeah.
Right now, so yes,
What's your max HP?
18.
Oh, okay.
He's the tank.
I have 15.
We're all very low level at this stage. Okay,
Yeah,
so
the
Sildar,
disparity will increase, but
Okay.
Sildar does look to you, Solomon, and like gives you a nod, like, okay, well done. Like, that was really well done, admirable. It gives you certainly a look of approval and looks to the other 2 of you and says like, thank you so much for that. Obviously there was a lot of evil in that being soul, and I think the world is a better place without him. And that is, so his body is on the floor, the bonfire is burning. Where to?
let's go kill that other fuck. And I'm gonna start storming off. How's everyone looking for HP before I use it all on myself?
I'm fine.
Okay, cool. I cast Healing Hands on myself.
Is there anything you want to do
Not
in this
healing
room
hands,
before
sorry.
you leave?
Not healing hands, healing word, I think it is.
What were we here for? I was so into the fight, I forgot.
You were
what
looking
I
for
was
Gundren. You're looking for Gundren.
Yeah, when I say like let's go kill him, that was more just flavor. Like I do want to look around the room and shit.
Okay.
It's more just
Perfect.
we do,
I want to
like,
kill the
some
other one for sending us into this shit.
Yeah, can we look around the room and see if
Yeah,
there's...
investigate.
Yeah, definitely. So, without even running a perception check, so you do see around the room, you see there's a variety of boxes. Like this was a stash house. Behind the big throne, there's a stash of goblin scimitars, weapons, shields, a lot of the same weapons that have been used like on you guys over the last little while. But you also see some very like clean, neat, and tidy crates with like a crest of a like a lion against a shield with some spears behind it. There's about 9 of those crates. They look full at the moment, and there's also a stash of treasure as well that you can find. I'll just tell you. Talk amongst yourselves while I look up exactly how much this is.
I look over kind of Horatio and say like, you're really good with that bow. I'm so impressed.
Thanks. It comes in handy sometimes, and it helps trying to protect what I'd call friends.
And then I jokingly say, I'm like, you call it a short bow, but for you, does that make it a long bow?
Ching.
And I kind of like walk off after.
Inspiration die.
Yeah.
Response just instantly turn.
And you're like, and Horatio's like, oh, LePage, I didn't know you were a father. Okay, so in the treasure chest behind Clark's throne room, you do see inside there is 220 gold pieces. There is 2 potions of healing and a statue of like a jade frog that would be worth 40 gold pieces. How would you like to divvy that treasure up amongst each other?
Those as evenly as we can. How much did you say there was in gold?
220 gold.
I might also just look at the others and ask. I know Solomon has healing hands, so he has a way to heal. Does LePage have a way to heal?
No.
Okay. Because I definitely don't have a heal, so I would be happy to. And I know we can share them, but I'd be happy to sacrifice some loot and take one of those potions if possible.
I don't know why, but
How many potions?
because I can just do that.
There's two healing potions.
It's probably just me and you, because he can heal himself.
Not much, but it's okay.
What are you doing? Are you
Okay.
healing yourself?
Okay. Then I sacrifice my potion for Solomon.
No, I've got enough health. I've got enough health.
Okay. Well, how about we just let you hold it for now in case you need it, because you're still weaker.
2 potions of
Good.
healing.
Yeah. So well.
How much
Horatio's
does a
taking
healing
one.
potion do? Is it full?
Not a lot.
2d4 plus 2, I think, from memory.
Okay.
2d4 plus 2, yep.
I will take one of those.
Yeah,
Alright.
I could take one as well.
Alright, I'll put
For
them in
the-
your inventory.
For the gold divvying, LePage, for the first time, kind of just looks at the gold and just doesn't seem interested to want to take it. He doesn't feel like it's his.
I think Solomon would like to take some for the simple reason, like I'm starting to realize that if I don't have the money to purchase some full-on cool shit, I'm copping a lot of hell on your guys' behalf being at the front. Like I can't do the range stuff you guys can do.
Yeah.
So if you guys don't mind, I'd like to take a decent portion to hopefully buy some gear and weapons and shit.
Yeah.
And
I-
out of character, I kind of just roll the coin purse in my pants, and I can just like feel it, and it's like it's feeling less and less like every day. Like it's just like I'm getting like distracted by how depleted I feel.
You concerned that you might have lost some in that flood when you got washed out?
I feel like there might have been something that's not there, not all of it at least.
Horatio.
Horatio's feeling the opposite way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got 220 gold pieces. How are we going with them? Where are we putting them? I did, Solomon, just to keep things going, I gave you a jade statuette. I put it in your inventory. If you don't want it, I can give it somewhere else. But that's
No,
worth
that's fine.
40
I can
gold as
always
well.
find a place to sell it. I would ideally like maybe 150 total. So maybe if I could take
110.
110, yeah, and then you guys could split the other. Just because I want to buy like a sword or something.
I want to make sure that have you got the other potion of healing, LePage?
No, I'll give it to Solomon.
I've given them to both of you. So physically in your inventory, I've handed both potions out.
Oh yeah, I see him.
All right.
All right, go ahead and add the gold to your inventory. I can't do that.
Yep, I have done that.
Perfect. Excellent. And Sildar comes up behind you. He notices, obviously, Solomon, that you're looking through like some of the treasures and things, and he looks over to the crates that are quite the ones with the crests on them, and he says, I recognize this sigil. I believe there's a trader in town that has this sigil above their shop. I can't remember. I can't recall the name of the dealer at the moment, but I believe these could have been supplies that were on their way to Phandalin. Perhaps the goblins raided.
Does it look reasonable to be able to, I suppose, grab as much of that as possible and bring it back with us? Or we haven't got the caravan either. It's somewhere.
Yeah. No,
yeah.
so you could even.
We did leave that at the start, like the start of this whole little thing.
No, I'll say that you could each carry one. Sildar could carry one, so you could carry 4 of the 9.
Okay.
Yeah, they're big, but they're not ridiculous. Like they're not like full of water. Horatio could barely carry one.
If we're obviously we're gonna obviously have to leave some. Can I crack into one and see what's in them?
Yeah, definitely. So
Yeah,
inside there are much the same, like similar stuff as to what you were carrying into Phandalin, actually. So mining materials, like pieces of steel and like yet to be armor and swords, but it looks like armaments that are to be, like it obviously like well packaged, not just like chucked in there. There's different like valuable sort of bits and pieces, but like nothing like item wise, just valuables, like obviously valuable to someone, probably not in their current state, but ready to be like forged into something else. So and what else was I going to say about them? So Sildar recognizes them. He definitely says there's a shop that carries a sigil in town, and he suggests like maybe they'd be willing to pay us for bringing them back.
All right.
Yeah, I suppose we'll carry as much as we can. I do want to stop this other goblin though. I don't feel comfortable leaving him.
Being Yimmick.
Yeah. Is there any sign of Gundren here, or like any of his belongings evident?
So something else that you find in the pile. So you're looking around the throne room, the throne, Solomon, and you actually find a bit of like a scroll that you unravel, and you open up the scroll, and it is in, what do you speak? Do you speak just normal, common? I'm sure. I'm guessing.
I speak a few things, but yeah, common. I suppose.
Yeah, common is fine. Yep. So in common, but like scratchy common, like it looks like I don't know, like poorly written, but easily discernible. It says that there's orders that you can see to looks like to Clark to bring the dwarven captive to Cragmaw Castle, is what it says. And there's like a very like loose sketched sort of image of a path off of the Tribor Trail that might be leading into Neverwinter Forest, but like very undiscernible as a map.
I want to bring it with me then.
Yep. And Sildar, Sildar asks, like, did you find anything of note? Is there any sign of our friend?
Not of him being here, but I have found a map, or maybe not a map, but some directions that might at least point us on the right path. It seems he's being held prisoner, and there was instructions to bring him to a castle. We should
To the castle.
follow it.
Not. Is there a name or anything more? Which castle? It
There
did
is
say-
a name.
Yeah.
I've immediately forgotten it.
Cragmaw. Cragmaw. Maybe write that
Cragmaw.
down.
I will.
Cragmaw, M-A-W.
Yeah.
So, and he says Cragmaw Castle. I swear there was an ancient castle of that name. It rings a bell. I not in any recent history was a castle like that in use. To be honest, I don't even know the location. I swore I'm looking at any. Are you showing him the map as well?
Yeah.
So he's sort of looking at it, sort of piecing it together, and he's like, he can say, "Oh, that's Neverwinter Forest." Look, it looks like we're going to need to do some more research, but we might be onto something. It looks like clearly. Oh, sorry. At the bottom of the page as well, there's like the stamp is like a spider, like quite a menacing looking spider.
Would it be the same as the spider that we've seen on the armor? I take it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but like in a stamp form, like an
official
inky, not like a wax stamp, like an inky sort of insignia. It's quite cool.
Yeah.
Just
Could we
imagine a
show
cool,
it?
just imagine a cool insignia in your head.
Could we show
Oh yeah, it's vivid now.
Could we
Yeah.
show it to Silgard and just be like, does this look familiar? the
Yeah.
insignia?
So he says no, but there's clearly a connection with this spider. Obviously, I've heard that name mentioned. You said you saw some bandits, obviously standing up with Gundren with the markings. There's clearly a connection here, and it must all lead back to Cragmaw Castle. We must have. I need to do some more research. Let's get back to town. I'll do some digging through the annals and the archives and see if I can discern where this Cragmaw Castle might be, and we'll reconvene once we're rested and back on track.
Well, I kind of look over to the guys and also remind them too. It's that we do have to go take this caravan.
Which we have left on the side of the road.
With the oxen just
Parked it somewhere.
just eating.
Yeah. I would prefer to finish the caravan because I think it was like it had mining tools and shit. Like someone was waiting for our shipment.
Yeah, I think we need to, as soon as possible, get this caravan delivered.
I need all the money I can get, and we are getting paid for that. So.
Yeah.
Valid.
the easiest motivated character in the game, Horatio. 16 gold
Yeah.
pieces.
Like, I just keep dangling the gold bag on a little stick in front of me, and I keep walking.
Yeah. What about Yimmick? Are we going to deal with Yimmick before we
I
make
think
our
we need
way
to say
out?
hi.
I think we should pay him a visit on our way back out.
I think Solomon is still angry.
I'm bringing Clark's head though. It's the reason
Yeah,
I
alright.
decapitated him.
All right. Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Okay. All right. So yep. So you go through to Yimmick, and Yimmick, he almost like giddily jumps up when he sees you with his head, and he claps. He says, "Well done, well done, well done, lads. You've done it. So I can be the boss now." It appears as though you've probably killed the most of the goblins in here, though. Well, perhaps we could work together.
And what do you
offer
suggest?
us? Yeah.
What do you
Well,
suggest I work together?
We continue to raid the caravans, gain the money, and we can speak to that spider lady. Will give us orders and give us money. She's at the castle. She'll come back in a few days, I'm sure, and we'll work with her.
Wait, you know about the castle?
The castle. The castle. Clark mentioned it a few times. Yes.
Do you know how to get there?
No, I don't. Unfortunately, Clark was the only one who knew that. Him and that spider lady knew, but I've not personally been there as of yet.
Okay, I'm going to storm up to him, grab him by the scruff of the neck, draw my blade, and basically just say to him, we're going to work together, and when that spider lady comes, you're going to help us get on her good side to go to that castle. And if not, it's your head.
Yeah, your head's next.
He says, yeah. I'll where will you be? I can summon you when she comes back the next time.
Where will we be? I don't know.
Now you think you're heading back to Phandalin now with Sildar.
Okay. Well, I
You're not
suppose,
too
yeah.
far from Phandalin. He could run there if he needed to.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I suppose
You could leave him an ox.
Well, I personally am staying with Horatio in an inn in Phandalin. I'm not sure about our rich friend over here if he's going to accompany us there or not. But
I'm just kind of like I'm following behind at this point and kind of like letting the pack lead me. I'm just taking it in.
Are you in a bit of a state of shock from all that as well, LePage? Like,
everything has been crazy. Like I feel like I'm so underprepared for what I've got myself into.
Yeah. Okay, so as you're speaking to Yimmick though, he like you've got him like by the neck, and he just grabs his two hands and like pulls the crown off of Clark's head and puts it over his, and it like doesn't fit, but it like goes over his
Like
shoulders, and then he just gives you he gives you the thumbs up, and he says, "I'll summon you as soon as the spider's here, and we'll all work together."
If you don't, that crown will be so tight around your neck, you will not breathe. I will remove your head from your body just like I did to your boss.
And he's almost assuming like you guys are best friends now. Like you've done what he asked.
He can assume that. He can assume that as much as he wants.
Yeah. And he says, "All right, well, I believe she was meant to return in a few days, so I'll summon you and I'll let her know that you were looking for her, and we'll meet together hopefully." I've never personally spoken to her, but I'm sure now that I'm the boss, she'll listen.
I look forward to it.
Perfect.
And I leave.
Great.
Out of character, can we just take 2 minutes? My food just got delivered.
That is the time to happen. Yep. Let's have a quick 5-minute break. I can go pee, and Curtis can do what he needs to do.
I'm all right.
Big ready.
Yeah, all right. So, just to confirm a couple of things. So, we did grab crates. So, we got 4 crates in their entirety, and we've brought them back to the oxen as well. And we've jammed them back in the back on the oxen trailer thingy. Yep. Good. Okay. Awesome. So, you all jump in. Solomon takes the reins of the oxen. He's flanked by Sildar and LePage, and Horatio jump in the back. So you head back to the Tribord Trail where the ambush happened initially, the Goblin ambush. It's the middle of the day, and you've just obviously killed that giant boss thing, and you're traveling along the Tribord Trail, and Sildar, without really asking, just starts to sort of talk about the history of the area and in like the geography of the area, just to get your bearings straight. So Phandalin, obviously being that town outside of a few days ride outside of Neverwinter, it is flanked on all sides by the Sword Mountains, most famously Ice Spire Peak immediately to its east. Within the Sword Mountains and the Star Metal Hills, this is like the primary source of like wealth and materials are these hills. So it's like mining expeditions all along the Star Metal Hills and the Sword Mountains. So there's different mining excavations. Now in years more recently, like the escapades have dried up a lot. Like there's been a lot less gold, a lot less star metal, a lot less resources. So it has like Phandalin over time has absolutely fallen into a lot more impoverished than it once was. But it's almost like home to people like left over from that gold rush. Like and this is all things like Sildar is telling you. So this is like, that's a little bit of the geography. Obviously to the immediate north off the Tribord Trail is Neverwinter Wood. Neverwinter Wood is enormous though. Like it's a huge geographical landscape. Like when that thing said Neverwinter Wood on that map, like this is a huge area. And so you're back in the oxen, you're heading towards town. Sildar says to you, nudges you on the shoulder, and he says, we're about to reach Phandalin. You're sort of elevated coming out through the trees through Neverwinter Wood, and you look down, you see the sun high on the sky over this very rural looking town of about 30-40 ragtag shacky looking houses. Paint in your mind the image of like, it's like this is a bit of like a Wild West type town. Like you're sort of rolling in on oxen with one of those old school like cavern based trailers. You've got dirt roads. You've got obviously the signs of a hustling and bustling little town though. There's definitely a lot of comings and goings. You can see kids playing in the green areas. You can see people moving from store to store. There's definitely a lot happening. There's as you're approaching town, you see another cart being pulled by oxen heading back out to town. Sildar sort of waves to them, not that he knows them, but like just out of respect. On the side of the road, there's fields on fields of like cornfields. You see a scarecrow in one of the fields with like an old sign that it's sort of like holding on the side that just says, "Welcome to Phandalin," that you drive past. Approaching Phandalin, the town of Phandalin, the sun's high in the sky. It's a bright and sunny day. Sildar feels like he's got a little bit of color reaching back into his face. He was looking a little bit worse for wear, but obviously a lot more positive now that he's very close to where he was seeking. Also anxious though, like you can tell that he's very anxious about where Gundren might be. LePage, what you notice as you walk into town, you're riding into town, you're sort of looking out the back, you start to see some of the houses. You also notice that there are ruins, like really ancient ruins here and there, like very, very ruins. Like I'm not talking structures, almost just like really old, like something, there was something there, rock facing structures of some sort, but not even like intact houses or anything like that. Like just older, there's clearly like this is a town built upon something else, is what you feel like. There used to be something else here, and the reason you noticed it is you noticed like the architecture of it was very beautiful, like something you'd seen before, and in your part of town in Neverwinter, and that's all you notice. So you reach the north side of Phandalin, and again, Phandalin, don't try and overcomplicate your imagination here. This is like an old western town. You've got your traditional, you've got a couple of inns, you've got your traditional basic looking stores, you've got a number of small houses around. No one looks like they're from a tremendous amount of wealth. Really just take like any wild western looking thing and put that into your head as the town of Phandalin. A lot happening, busy, and I'll actually put this up on your screen for you. Can you see that map?
Yep.
Yeah,
Loading
that's all
for me.
Oh, it's loading.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can.
Yeah, so that's Phandalin, but we don't need to use this as a guide. Like, sorry, all we need to do is use this as a guide. I'm not going to say this house is this house is that. It doesn't particularly matter. So you're rolling through. If there's a place where I want you to like sort of see, I might put your figure there on the map, but it doesn't matter. This is just like the small town of Phandalin. What you can see, so as you approach town on your immediate left, there is like an old worn down building, like way up on a cliffside that sort of overlooks town. You're heading forward and you see the first thing you see is an inn. It's the Stone Hill Inn. Sildar gives you a nudge. Solomon says, I suggest you guys find a place and find lodgings to rest here, and the shopkeeper will be very excited to see that you've brought his supplies. This is where Gundren would have been asking you to bring the supplies, and he said he'll pay you for your work in the oxen and the supplies that you've brought. So and you say his name is Bart. I'm actually staying in one of the rooms upstairs, but he said, before I head there, I am going to head straight to the town master's office, speak to the town master, see if I can explore the annals and find any information I can find about Cragmaw Castle. Once you've spent some time in town, I'd love to reconvene and we can discuss our findings, but it might take me about a day to look through everything, and obviously I need to find a healer and find some rest myself.
All right, I want to lead to the inn then with the oxes. Park it out the front, reverse park, because Solomon ain't no bitch.
Reverse park
yeah,
the oxen.
Yeah, that's it. Got a hand on the seat.
Okay, so the inn, again, like, you don't need to go crazy, use your imagine, like, this is like a Wild West sort of inn. It's got the swinging doors, it's pretty open concept. Inside, it's the middle of the day, like, there's a few people there, like, that look like regulars sort of sitting at the bar. But it's pretty slow. You see a halfling child. She's doing the tables, so she's wiping the tables. She's bringing some beers out and some food out to some people. Obviously, this is a strong local haunt. You wouldn't say that there's a good vibe though. Like, you walked in and you don't feel overly welcome. Behind the bar, you see a very sturdy looking half orc. And he's cleaning a glass behind the bar. There's a lot of dust around the bar from sort of the red, dirty road outside. He's cleaning the glasses. He sort of looks at you all and nods, and he does wave friendly, a friendly wave. And he says to you, how can I? G'day all. How can I be of service?
Are you by any chance Bart?
I am. Yes, I am. So he does speak in quite like a droll, surly voice that I can't do. Sorry, no, like, I'm gonna do the droll, but he's like he's got like quite a deep, like, he's pretty lumbering, like, deep voice. But yeah, he has a drawl as well.
Well, we've been sent by Gundren with some supplies. I can't say everything's made it, but a large amount has. There's been some perils on our journey. Gundren himself couldn't be here to meet you. We're still working on that. But if you could come in outside and give us a hand unloading the cart. We've brought as much as we
Gundren's
could.
friends. Friends of Gundren are friends of mine. And he, just so you're aware, all of your supplies did make it to here.
Wasn't there also the stuff in the cart?
Yes,
not
but
the cart,
that's
sorry, the
separate.
5 crates.
Separate.
Oh, that's
like
separate. Okay,
it's separate. So your stuff, you were moving stuff for Gundren. This was clearly like a different.
Right. Yeah.
It's like a different shipment. One of the shops in town bears the crest of those boxes. And Sildar knew that. He just didn't know the name of the place.
Yeah. Okay.
So he says, "Oh, friends of Gundren are friends of mine." And he says, "You don't say you've seen Gundren anytime soon. When was last you saw him?"
We saw him when he first sent us on this little journey, but I don't mean to alarm you. We're currently under the impression that he may have been taken by a horde of goblins. And we have a lead on him. We're tracking him down, but at this stage we think he's safe, but we're not sure for how much longer.
My friends, there's been some real shakeups happening around towns lately, whether it's goblins, whether it's bandits, whether there's those damn red boys in town shaking up these shops. There's been a lot of happenings, and I'll have to say I was worried about our friend Gundren a little while ago. I was worried he might have shaken up the wrong crowd, and he's been missing for days, and I'll say his brothers have been coming by. The last I saw them, it was about 2 days ago. They came by asking for him if I'd seen him, and he wasn't around either then. Let's take a walk and talk while we see what you've brought old Bart.
And I'll lead him out to the carriage. While we're walking out, I want to ask him, these red boys that you reckon have been raiding, who are they? I've not heard the term.
And he says, look, I've probably said too much already. I don't want to cause no trouble around here. But look, there's this group of red. They look like they all wear the same sort of red coat and red capes, and they come by and they shake up the place. Look, I just do what they ask because I don't want no trouble. And Horatio, you do notice when he's talking you're sort of at half his height. You do notice that he has had it looks like he's been in a fight recently. Like he's got some bloody knuckles. Only you notice this though at this time. He does look like he's had some bloody knuckles. He's been in a fight. But he says, yeah, look, I don't want no trouble. But look, I will say there's been some shakeups lately, and some of the town folk have gone missing, and there's been some thefts and robberies. They're all look, they hold up in the other inn in town just across the way, but across town there. But look, I don't want no trouble. But yeah, it's been very troublesome lately.
Well, we're not here to cause trouble either, but if trouble does manage to find you, feel free to point them out to us. We won't go looking, but feel free to point them out to us, and we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, all right. Look, I know the mayor was trying to possibly find get someone together to look into this issue, but to be honest with you, I feel like they're working for him. They come around and they say they work for him. They say they're under his direction to do everything. I just don't get it. I don't get it.
Well, if sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, LePage kind of perks up and he hears that they're referring to obviously the mayor and leadership, and he kind of starts thinking to himself it's like my parents were aristocrats, bureaucrats. This kind of sounds like familiar to home. Like it kind of really hits home of like what he's used to seeing, and how the grifters kind of get protected by the upper class. So
yep.
in his mind, it's kind of just sinking in of like, it's like he wants to kind of help, but he's not sure how to ask right now, but he's thinking about it.
Yep. And look, Bart, short for Barthen, by the way, Bart, he is like you can tell like he's a gentle guy. Doesn't want trouble. Like he's dead serious about that. He just wants to keep sort of going on with what he's going on. And as you walked out the door, by the way, he did usher it. He said to hey Molly, look over things while I'm out. I'm just going to check out the cart. And so Molly was the other halfling inside. And so they walk out. And yeah, so you've looked through the cart. He says, I can't thank you all enough. The second those brothers come round, they've been looking for this gear for weeks. I know you're a little bit late. I understand you had some trouble on the road. That's absolutely fine. We're just happy that you got here. I can't wait to share all this with them. And he gives you all 60, as promised, your money, and he gives you all 16 gold pieces, 1-6. And he says, "What's about these crates here? What are you doing with the lion shields crates?"
We found them in the same goblin camp that we went looking for Gundren in. They were sort of tucked away up the back. We brought back what we could. It might be of someone's best interest to send a party out there. There's very little resistance there now since we were there, but this is all we could carry with us, unfortunately.
And he says, look, I'd suggest you bring those right over to the Lion Shield caster. Lenine will probably be looking for those. I'm sure he'd give you a tidy little ransom for those crates.
Sounds good. Just point us in the right direction.
Yeah, of course. Just down the road and take a left, and there it is. I promise you won't miss it. 30 feet down the road. Big lion on the sigil.
Motion to the other two. And...
Yeah.
Perfect. So he
Maybe
grabs the cart and he says to you, does he need to say anything? Hold on 1 second. I don't think so. He says, look, friends of Gundren, friends of Sildar are friends of mine. So I saw Sildar was with you on your way in. So please, I'd be very, very happy if you stay with us within your time at in Phandalin. We've got some rooms upstairs. We even got a little halfling size room downstairs that some of Molly's parents stay in when they come visit. If you'd like to stay, young man. And so he definitely welcomes. He says, tonight I'm making my famous stew. I'd love for you to join me in the mess hall.
And I just kind of think of myself like, stew. What's stew?
And cornbread. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, he's invited you to stay, and he says, for what you've done for us already, that'll be free of charge for your stay, as long as it's not more than 2 weeks.
It's appreciated.
He says, to be honest with you, there's not been a lot of travelers anymore. Too many people are worried about those caravans getting raided in and out of town. And like I said, there's been talk of strange folk around, strange goblins in the hills, and yeah. But please stay here as long as you need. Mikasa Sukasa.
As long as we need, just not over 2 weeks.
Just not over 2 weeks.
Yeah.
4 weeks. 4 weeks for you, little man. And he looks at your size and he's like, maybe not actually.
You don't have enough stew for me, mate.
And yeah, so he sort of walks inside. The halfling child has been like clearly eavesdropping on your conversation. She's just like, you can tell she's very inquisitive. She almost has like a smile on her face. She's looking at you, particularly Horatio, like, oh, another one. But she hasn't really addressed you in conversation. She's just like, she's very excited that there's some new sort of strangers about.
Okay. Are we going to that other store, or are we coming back to the inn later? The tavern.
I think we are going to that store, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do that first. I want to have a chat to Molly, but I want to help the lads drop the stuff off first.
Great. All right, so 30 feet, 30 feet down the road, there's a sign 30 feet in the air that has a the same sigil crest as you have on branded on the boxes that you have. It says above in common, Lion Shield Coster, and inside. So you bring the boxes in.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
so you walk inside. Again, it's a small shop. They're actually sorry. This is one of the larger shops in town. But when I say that, the store frontage is kind of small, but you can easily tell there's like almost like this is like one of the more rugged sorry, not rugged, but stronger fortified stores. Like this is like clearly there's some armor here. There's some swords that you can see like through the back room. There's actually like it looks like weapons, but they're like kind of behind lock and key. Like they're pretty well. They're not just like sitting out. They're pretty well protected. From behind the counter, this elf lady come like quite strong looking elf woman comes from behind the counter and says, welcome, what can I do you for?
We may have some items of yours.
And she
I point out
she
the
looks
front to the
looks at
crates.
the crates and she says, where did you find those?
In the back of a goblin camp. Don't worry, the goblin's gone. But I mean, if you are feeling adventurous, there is 5 more of them that we got these for.
Ah, that must have been the shipment 4268 that was meant to be here 3 weeks ago. Look, I'll absolutely I'll pay you 50 gold pieces for those there crates. Thank you.
Just out of character,
just
missed
about to say-
opportunity to say shipment 30.
I was just about to say, like, a part of me wants to open the crates to see what's actually in them.
Fip did open the crates.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't.
Do you want to know what's in them?
And it was
Quickly?
just like, oh, yeah, go for it, Brad.
Like just like pieces of armor, but not armor yet. Like pieces of steel,
Oh, it needs to be crafted. Yeah.
iron,
Okay. Yeah.
different linens, like your New World sort of stuff, but not
Material.
materials. Yeah, like
Yeah.
precious materials, but not. Yeah, that's it for now.
Yeah. All good. Cool.
And she says what she sort of says to you, like, what brings you to town, and how'd you find these in a goblin camp?
We're in town delivering more stuff, funnily enough. On behalf of Gundren. I'm not sure if you've heard the name, but
Gundren.
seems to be a good friend of a bunch of people around here.
Yeah, I've heard the name. Not personally friends with him. I'm not from around here, to be honest with you. I've just spent here the last few months here working. I work for obviously the Lion Shield Coster, and we've got shops all around the Sword Coast, and this is where unfortunately I've been stationed for the last few months.
So what exactly are you? Like an armory or?
Yeah,
What-
so
what do you
we're
sell?
armory trades, armory dealer. We've got armor in the back. We've got swords, shields, and even a few magical items. And unfortunately, though, regardless of the coin that you've had, I've been instructed to stop selling at the moment by those red boys that have been walking around. And yeah, they've told me to cease my operations. I've gone to head office. I sent a caravan to head office a few weeks ago just to understand if I need to pack up and leave, but I haven't had any response yet.
I don't want to intrude or get your hopes up or anything, but we've been hearing a bit about these red boys, and from the sounds of things, we may have to intervene in the matter. Any chance you could sort of show us around anyways, on the off chance that we maybe fix that problem for you? Show us what you do have.
She sort of like looks at you, and like she's almost like nudging you to like look behind you, and she's sort of insinuating that we're being watched right now. So she's like, I'm so sorry, gents, but I can't help you. Can't help you with that at the moment. But look, more than happy to pay for the crates, and look, if yeah, love, and she sort of whispers to you that yeah, we're being watched. I can't do this right now.
Can I? I'm gonna turn around and do it. Does anyone stand out as watching me? Like, is there someone obviously in that uniform, or is it?
Yeah, so behind,
someone
like,
who's more
yeah, there's
secretive?
a few people, like, you're out on the road. It's a busy road. Well, there's only like one road in town. There's a few people out there, and you don't know exactly. Like, you can see there's a few people, but there's, to be honest with you, there's a number of people actually watching you because they're like strangers are. You're all pretty. You're an
Standing
eclectic.
out,
You're an
yeah.
eclectic bunch, and there's not a lot of people that have, particularly in the last like few months, have been through Phandalin. Like, there's quite.
Yeah.
It's too hard to tell exactly who's standing out as who's watching.
Right. Okay.
And to be honest with you, it could be no one. Like, she's just sort of saying we're being watched, but you don't know how.
Yeah. Okay. Well then, look, fair enough. We appreciate the reward. I'm glad we could deliver your stuff, but I think it's about time we call in for the night. Have some dinner. Have a rest.
Have a drink.
She says to you, so she flicks you the 50 coin. So make sure someone puts 50 gold pieces in their inventory.
I put it in mine.
And she just looks at you and she just says, just boys, just avoid the Sleeping Giant tap house for your it's the Sleeping Giant Inn and Tap House tonight. That's where those boys hold themselves up most of the time.
That's not the name of the place we were staying at, is it?
No, 2 inns. So you've got Stonehill Inn, which is Barthen's, and you've got you've got Barthen's, which is the Stonehill Inn, and then you've got what did I just call this one? The Sleeping Giant Inn is the other one, and that would be, yeah, she's saying that's where the red boys hang out.
Okay.
And something I failed to tell you, but it doesn't matter either way. So she both her and Bart, Bart, as well as being the inn, he also has like provisions. Between them and so between the Stonehill Inn and the Lion Shield Coster, you could buy anything like out of like your starting gear. You could buy rope. You could buy basic.
Aren't they not allowed to sell to us?
They can sell this, so she can't sell weapons or armor, but she can sell like the knickknacks, anything like rope, anything you could find in like when you first create your character. Sorry, I don't have the exact details. What else do you have? Like, you could buy torches,
Candle, yeah.
rope.
Yeah, I want to.
I need to replenish my 1 oil.
I mean,
Are you buying oil from her? She has oil.
Yes, I would like to buy 1 flask of oil.
6 gold pieces, please, and you can add oil to your inventory.
Yeah, right. I'll do it. Thank you. I'll deduct it. That's all I need.
Here's your oil, sir.
Thank you.
Don't use it all in one place.
I will. I will.
Can I buy some rope?
Yes, that is 18 gold pieces.
Cool. I'll add that to my inventory. I don't know if I can. I'm in the section where it is.
You can't. Is it in items or something?
It's in adventuring gear.
Player's Handbook.
I was able to add mine.
You should be able to.
Yeah, so I didn't realize you could click on the, like, I've got a burglar's pack. I didn't realize you could click on it and it opens.
Yes, and then it opens.
Yeah, see, that's what I was. I'm sure that
How I
every
found out
class
I had
would
everything.
get something like that, but for some reason, when I made the class, it didn't have that.
I had 2 options. One was to get the pack, or I just got extra money.
So I didn't even get the option for the extra money.
Okay.
Sorry, it was only 1 gold piece. That was my bad for the rope.
Hang on, I'm just looking at something else.
That's all right.
Do you actually have prices, or did you just guess that?
Yeah, the
I
price list is
guessed,
in.
but it's in there. Yeah. I'm gonna look up oil for you.
1 silver piece.
Just make it 1 gold piece.
Let's see.
give yourself back 7. Is that what I said?
It was 6. So I'll
Yeah, give
myself
yourself
back.
back 5.
Can I also buy a tinderbox?
Yes. Anything you want, really, from that.
So are you happy for
Adventuring
us to
gear.
just add the shit we want and then just self-manage the
Yeah.
buying things?
Yeah, without going completely over the top. Yes.
Yeah.
We're still in a regional town here.
I want 35 tinder boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah, one level up my fire making.
Where did you find the oil? I'm trying to buy oil. Oh, there
Just
it is, never
search
mind.
it. Search it in
Yeah,
items,
I've
and
got it now,
it'll
I've got
pop
it now.
up. Yeah.
I think I've got it because I've got a lantern that I'm supposed to fill it with. Or use to fill it.
Oh, that's right.
I can't remember how many silver pieces are 1 gold piece, but I will.
Just we're eliminating gold and copper out of the campaign because it's just too complicated.
But I mean, I don't want to pay 5 gold pieces for a lamp when it should be 5 silver pieces.
No, just make it 1 gold piece.
Oh,
Minimum.
okay.
Just minimum. Yeah. So a gold piece is equal to 10 silver. For
Okay,
reference.
cool. That much clears it up. So that means that's how much gold I now have. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm done buying stuff then.
Excellent. Okay, so yeah, you turn around, you've got your money from her, and actually Molly, you see the little halfling child, and she's sort of sitting there like she's been waiting for y'all to come outside, and she smiles at you, and she says, "Howdy, partners. Welcome to Phandalin."
I think Horatio will kind of take point, just seeing a similar one of his race and say hi. Yeah, he is
Origio.
on the big old. He says, "Hey, Molly. My name's Horatio. It's
Howdy, Horatio. Pleased to make
Good.
you doing.
what's I'm gonna, while we're not in the tavern with old mate, I'm gonna ask her and just ask if what's his name, Bart?
Yeah.
What kind of trouble he was in recently?
Yeah, and she says, look, come back over here with me, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that. And she sort of pulls you behind, 30 foot behind this wall, like old structure. One of those ones that you noticed before, like coming in LePage, like clearly not part of this town. Like this was an ancient sort of structure. She pulls you behind, and she says, look, I try to keep myself to my own business, but those red clothed boys, they keep coming around and shaking us up. And look, Bart tried to make a stand, and they really roughed him up. She says, but not before he got 1 or 2 of them, but yeah, they really roughed him up, and I don't want that to happen. He's such a kind soul.
Yeah, I think we're definitely here to help in a sense, but what do the red boys want per se? Are they just causing trouble, or are they looking for something?
Look, we don't know, sir. They just showed up a few months ago, and a few of them have said they were here under the mayor's orders, but it all just seems so strange. Just a few weeks ago, before yous arrived, the old sheriff, was a good friend of all of ours. We really liked him, and I knew his wife and his son mysteriously left town in the middle of the night. I saw them. I saw the wagon leaving. I didn't think anything of it then, and and then only a few days later, the sheriff disappeared, and since then they've almost taken over, like they own the place, and few peoples have tried to stand up to them and gotten stuck right in the mud. So we've all just shut our traps since then. But if you're here to help, that would be swell. Look, I really encourage you, while you're in town, you should go see Sister Grail. Sister Grail's just down the road at the Shrine of Luck, and look, she's been having troubles with the bandits and some others, but I think she could help you out a little bit more. I highly suggest you go check her out. She's been acting all funny lately, and look, her special powers haven't been working, but I think I think yous all could help each other, perhaps.
Perfect. And are the other two with me, or is it just me chatting to Molly?
Yeah, they're all witnessing the conversation. Yeah, aren't they? Yeah, you're sort of all there on the street.
Okay. I guess on that note, I turn to them and say, "Shall we give them a visit, or do you wanna grab a drink?" And I think my mind is just stuck on drinks, but I need the other two to keep me on the straight path.
I was gonna say, it's like maybe we should go for a drink at the dodgy place.
I could go for a nap, if I'm being blunt.
How long are we planning on staying in town? Like, we don't have to do everything tonight, do we? I think maybe a settle in, or
just because my thing is it's that we know where they are right now. So if we don't go do that, could we take a little trip over to the mayor's place in the morning then?
Yeah, I think so. What we can do as well, if LePage is feeling feisty, I'm happy to go get a drink at the dodgy pub. And
well, if Solomon wants to have a little nappy poo, let him have a little nappy poo.
We could have just like a quick little rest, for example, a short one, and then we could go for a drink. My old man now.
All right, so how about me and Horatio? We go to the pub. We go to the inn that we first came in with Bart.
Yeah.
And me and Horatio just kind of kick it off, and we're gonna have a couple drinks and just rejoice in the new friendship that we've made. And we'll let little Solomon have a little nappy poo.
Old man Solomon having a little day nap. Yeah.
All right, so
joints creaking.
So Solomon's having a nap. Horatio and I have had two drinks now, and we're just about to pour the third. And I look over at him and I say, so why are you here? Like what brings you all the way here? Like, what is it?
To be honest with you, I haven't really told many people. I try to keep to my own, but I've had some pretty bad things in my past. Being on the thieving kind of side of the world, you don't really make many friends during that. Not any good ones anyway. And I spent all my money doing some questionable things. And I guess now I'm trying to, I guess, in lack of better term, is turn a new leaf and hopefully do something right. But at the moment, I'm just trying to make some money so I can get on the right path. But I feel like we've come from two very different sides of the coin, you and I, LePage.
Well, I had a cousin that was dabbling in the alchemy powders, so I've grown aware of it, but obviously nothing I've decided to touch. But I understand everybody has different cuts of the cloth.
So that's me, and I try to drown my sorrows a bit with the few coins I can muster. But I guess there's a turning point is, why are you here, pretty boy?
It's a very, very tough question that I keep asking myself every day. I thought that when I left home that I was going to be able to just kind of rule at my own pace. And then the moment I met you guys, everything kind of changed. I had just left home for like the villa for the first night, and within an hour's time, my whole world has been turned upside down, and I almost feel like it's becoming like a want to see more. It's like I've opened up a chapter in my book that I've never really experienced.
It's fun to not have control sometimes. I think you'll find.
Yes, it's very peculiar.
Yeah.
And then I guess yeah. So we polish off our third drink.
Solomon
then-
stumbles down from his nap, looking somehow groggier than they are.
I yell over to Bart and I say, "Pour a big one for the big man."
Double park him.
Yeah. So yeah, we grab
I
Solomon a couple.
stroll over to the bar. Immediately, just like give Bart a quick salute, down in one go, and stroll out.
And then,
Nice.
Yeah. So are we taking it easy tonight then? Is that the idea? We just have a night.
No, I thought I had a little afternoon nap, and now we're going to the real pub.
All right.
Yeah, we had our prees,
Yeah,
mate.
so we've had our pre-drinks.
Pre-gamed.
All right. So I'm feeling loose. Like I usually have like maybe one
would be.
glass.
You
yeah,
would
like
be.
one glass at the end of the night. I'm feeling loose and
Yeah.
tingly.
Surely got to make a con save.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I'm having a laugh. Like I'm actually kind of getting a little like too noisy. Like
Yeah.
people around me are kind of like who is this pretty boy? Like people are really starting to I can feel the eyes on me, but I'm like I'm getting a little obnoxious when I'm laughing.
Yeah, and as you're walking through town as well, like, look, there's clearly eyes on all of you, not just because you're being a little bit obnoxious, but like there were already eyes. There's probably more eyes because you're being a little obnoxious as well.
Yeah. Little piss tank.
Horatio is a little bit like weary of how he is and of how like you're a little bit tipsy, and he's quite alert to what's happening around. And through the corner of your eye, Horatio, in one of the rooftops just sort of above you, you actually swear you see the shape of a figure like completely in black sort of duck behind like a smokestack and disappear. But you swear that you saw a figure sort of watching you from the rooftops. And yeah, so you continue walking through town on the dusty roads. You do see a couple of times as you're walking the streets. Are you heading to the other, like the real pub? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So you do see a couple of times on your way there, you see like some armored looking guys with like red capes, and a couple of them have like red sachets around their face, and they've got armored. Some of them have shields, swords, like well armored.
How many?
Well, you've passed a few different groups. Like you've seen two there, 2 or 3 there, 2 there, but they do give you a real stare down as you walk past. A few of them like give a good spit in your general direction.
Is there any of them that are kind of like alone, like would be walking by themselves?
No, they're sort of
Okay.
walking like they're almost like guards, like they're
Yeah.
almost like on duty sort of thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say is like maybe we could take one around 30 feet away, around the back.
You could try. I mean, you
Oh,
could try.
no,
Yeah.
well, no, there's too many. It's yeah, you cause a scene. It's harder with that many.
I thought we were coming here to cause a scene.
Yeah, I know, but like in the pub's one thing, but like I was thinking in the streets, you could like pull somebody down a back alley, get some intel, but not with that many people. All right. So yeah, so we rock up to the pub. They're
Yep.
DM.
So the Sleeping Giant is the name of this pub. They're outside of the pub. There's a few of the boys having smoke breaks. You can see, or having smokos.
On
Like,
Smoka.
yeah, they're smokos. Again, all wearing that same sort of garb. Not all of them are armed like with swords, but like they've got like decent, like medium, decent light armor. All of them though covered in either like that red cape or that like red satchel, red bandana, like clear obvious markings of this red. There's some red capes and insignias like over the inn as well. And you walk in. The inn itself is a lot busier than Stonehill Inn was. It is almost exclusively filled with these bandit soldier looking people. It's like a
Watching.
yeah. And sorry, it's not it's the middle of the day, so it's not pounding full. There's not like 30. There'd be like, it's quite a large space, and there's probably 12 people around. And then you've got the bartender as well, who also is like a surly looking bloke with sort of like a red shirt on, no armor but red shirt. It's like you've walked into like a Manchester United football club or something, and everyone like looks straight at you, and they just sort of eye you down, and then look back to their drinks. And there is a bit of music playing, but again, like very unwelcoming vibe. But no one immediately approaches you.
So what kind of music's playing?
Western drawl.
West. All right, so LePage, he's hearing the music. He's just snapping his fingers. He's walking through. He's just jamming away. And he's so oblivious again to like the scenario that he's in, because he's kind of like he's over the tipping point now. Like he's not smashed, but he's in that like perfect window of like having a good time, that he's just kind of like slipped back into a bit of his old ways of like being that really, really oblivious to the scenarios in front of him.
Yep. And Horatio and Solomon, what are you two doing? Are you gonna sit down for a drink, or are you gonna watch your friend dance, or what are you doing?
I'll walk in behind him, make my way up, and sort of try and take a seat at the main bar. I'm not drunk, so I'm just gonna keep to myself and kind of watch what happens to start off with, I suppose.
All right, sorry, go ahead, Horatio.
I was gonna say I try to walk in, but I'm too short to even touch the little saloon doors, so no one looks at me. And, I'm also quite wary of the fact that I think I saw someone, but I can't be 100% sure because I have had quite a bit to drink. But I'm on edge compared to the other two, so I'm gonna try and take a seat at the end of a bar where I've got my back to a wall, and just try and kind of survey the scene, and also have a good time watching LePage just
Just
vibe.
jamming out.
He's never ever heard before.
So I while the boys are sitting down having a drink, I kind of just like stumble over to a table, and I just put my hand right on top of one of their shoulders, and I was like, I think I wore the wrong color tonight. Just like blatant, like just but trying to become off like really positive, like just super positive, like it's like no ill intention whatsoever.
The three guys at the table just jump straight up in a menacing way and like push you back and get your hands off me, young man. Who do you think you are?
And I look him dead in the eyes, and I was like, do you know who my father is?
And they
The
look at
ultimate rich
you.
boy card.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they look at you like, son, you are a long way from home. And boys, what do you say we teach this young man a lesson? And they all sort of like just like crunching their knuckles a little bit as well. The rest of the bar is like looking like and then an older one wearing a similar garb walks up and looks at him like, use the boys that have been asking all them questions around town. I think you've asked more than enough, and can't believe you stepped foot in here. I think we need to teach these boys a lesson.
Well, do they know?
I was guessing what's happening next.
I was gonna say is like, do they know that I came with these two guys? Because they all went different ways.
They're looking at the three of you almost in like the same way. Like you're none of you are welcome. None of you are welcome. So like you've got a congregation of people sort of around now that are like looking. The music is sort of dulled away as well. But no, they don't really care, to be honest with you.
Okay. So they just want to beat me up.
Yeah, so the older
One day
looking
we'll
one
go
grabs
somewhere and
you.
Someone will be intimidated by us.
Yeah.
Well, not me, but yeah.
Yeah, when you're level 9 maybe. he maybe they haven't seen Horatio. He's too small. He's actually sort of under the tables. He hasn't been seen yet. The older one grabs you by like the shirt, like right here, and he says, "What the fuck are you doing in Phandalin?"
And I say, I'm on an adventure. Don't you see my friend at the bar? The big that
Solomon
guy.
rolling
And I'm,
his
po- and I'm-
eyes.
and I'm pointing at Solomon.
Ah,
So I have
two-
no idea
Rolling
Horatio
his eyes.
Yeah. Two guys go over to Solomon, like knock him on the shoulder to get him up off the bar stool and like clock him, like so he's elevated now, and sort of like bring him over to the scene where this one guy's speaking, and he says, friend of this one, a bit of an eclectic bunch the two of yous are. I would have thought.
Oh, hang on. Friend is a word. Not the word, but it's a word. I know him. I'm traveling with him. He has had one too many to drink. But let me assure you, we're not here to start trouble. We just want to have a few drinks, meet some new friends, maybe join the costume party, whatever.
And I just start cackling laughing.
Are you trying to offend me, sir?
No, I can see you've pressed that cape incredibly well. I cannot see a single wrinkle. You've kept out of the mud. The red, it brings out your features. And honestly, I might try the look myself, but I like my armor at the moment, so maybe not tonight.
Friends, you say. Friends, you got about 2 seconds to get yourself out this bar, or we're gonna pound you into oblivion.
I'm an old man. I can't even finish my drink in 2 seconds. You can try to pound
One of them knocks the drink out of your hand as you say that.
That's rather rude.
I immediately look at Solomon and I just kind of just like, what? just like light bulb just goes off in my head of like, what just happened?
I'm not gonna make you buy me another one, but we could sit down, share stories, and share another drink now that you've accidentally, of course, knocked mine over.
And he just looks at you like, get out.
Horatio pulls out the ball bearings. No,
If
but,
do I see this? Oh, okay. You're not pulling it.
you know, I don't think LePage would be able to handle that in his state.
All of a sudden, oil starts raining from the ceiling.
All right. So I guess like I just kind of look at the guys and I'm like, guys, we're just here to have a party. We're here to have a good time. And I'm just like, hey, turn the music up. I'm just like yelling for him to play louder.
And he turns and looks at his buddies and he's like, boys, I don't think they're getting it. I don't think they're getting it.
I put my arm around LePage. I pick up the glass that's on the floor. I'm like, no, I assure you, we've got the message. I'll take my drunk friend here, and we will head out. And I want to stumble to the door, and right as I open the door, whip around with the glass and just like launch it at one of them.
Yeah.
Right in the fucking dome.
This is what I've been waiting for.
All right. Just roll the dice. Roll the dice.
Roll the dice.
Roll a d20.
Yeah, I've been like trying to prolong the story as long enough so Solomon can get into his shit.
Yeah, he's not. He's ready.
All right, so you take the glass. So have you left? No, you're just about to leave. You turn around.
I'm at the door.
You're at the door. So you've like taken, you leave, and you turn around and you whip the glass, and who are you throwing it at? One of the randoms or the sort of lead looking guy?
The dude that was in my face.
Yeah,
the one that knocked
shaking
me
you
out of my
down,
hand.
shaking you down. No, the one that was one of his ruffians.
That's the one I'm going for then.
Okay, the one that took it out of your hand. All right.
He spilt it. He fucking wears it.
All right. All right, you hit him across the chest with it, and all of a sudden it is a flurry of excitement, and you and 3 of them have ran over to you guys to engage in combat with you. So roll for initiative on whatever
Before
you
this
want to
starts,
roll on.
Is this a fist fight or is this a where?
Oh, I've got a fucking sword.
No,
That's
what I'm
up
getting
to you guys.
at. No, but it's okay. Okay, do they have their weapons drawn?
They don't.
Okay.
Not at this stage. No,
Ratio does.
they do have weapons on them,
Yeah,
but
that's what I'm saying.
they
Yeah.
have not drawn their
okay.
weapons. They have come over to you to engage in what looks to be like your old school tavern brawl.
Okay, cool. Let's do it.
Yeah. 'Cause I want to be careful because if we start killing people, if we don't need to.
That's my initiative, by the way.
Is this D20 we're doing?
D20 plus initiative modifier.
Oh fuck, I don't know what the modifier is. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Pretty good.
Yeah, doesn't matter. All right. Nice. All right, so we've got
Horatio's still kind of like looming.
Horatio's unseen.
Yeah.
Horatio, you are not
To the
currently
scene as
seen.
possible.
You don't have to roll for advantage here unless you want to join this fight.
Oh. I'll.
Initiative, sorry.
He could come like flying off the top rope. so-
100%. Yeah.
I kind of was trying. I was
Deliberately trying to make a point of drawing as much attention as possible so Horatio wasn't spotted.
Yeah, Horatio's definitely not spotted at this stage. He's under a table. So we've got LePage.
I guess if I'm not currently engaged and no weapons are drawn, I'm ready, but I'm not like making myself seen yet.
I'm
Yep.
surprised you're not running around the pub pickpocketing everybody.
I thought about it.
Yeah.
Mainly you.
Oh, you'd win. You'd
All right,
get
so
it all
you're
the way
you're remaining hidden for the moment, for the time being.
Oh yeah.
All right, so an old school fucking Western bar fight has ensued. Glasses have started shattering. LePage, it's your turn. And for your stats for unarmed, do you have an unarmed strike as a possibility?
I don't, but I'm currently going into monk, and I'm just gonna steal it from that class and put
I
it
was
into
just
mine,
gonna
'cause
do,
you are
like-
meant to have unarmed strike.
You are,
No, there's,
yeah.
there's an actual rule about it. So
Yes, there is a rule. I was just gonna make it up on the fly, but it doesn't matter.
So how do I add unarmed strike to this?
Just edit it.
I'm trying to remember. It's been a while.
I reckon just roll a d20, add 2.
it's a strength thing. Trying to find.
It definitely is a strength thing, yeah.
Can I just
you're
can I
right.
just roll a strength? Like just a strength dice though?
Just roll a strength save, and that's easy, and that'll be your hit.
Strength save. Okay.
So it's just a melee attack made without a weapon, so you still add your proficiency. So it's
Oh,
so to make an unarmed strike, you roll a d20 plus your strength plus your proficiency bonus.
but proficiency in what? Not unarmed strike.
Just it doesn't matter. It's proficiency because it's your own fists. You're proficient in them. So whatever your proficiency modifier is added.
I don't know.
Oh,
What the
sure.
Modifier.
It's just below your AC to the right.
Okay. So D20 plus 1 plus 2, so plus 3.
And then
So
your damage is
20 plus. I can write that down for you if you'd like. Yep.
All right. So D20.
What's yours, Solomon?
Mine is I think plus 5 total. Yeah.
20 plus 5. Yep. Okay.
And then the damage equals 1 plus your strength modifier.
Plus 1 plus.
1 plus
Two.
strength modifier.
Yeah, and that's so it's just a flat damage.
All right. That's my to hit.
Nice. You are hitting.
And what was the damage? Sorry, Fit.
Oh, hang on.
I think it's just a straight 3.
No. No. I've got that wrong. I've got the damage side wrong.
Yeah, that's why I haven't rolled.
It's not much. It'd be less than
It's
5.
not a lot. It's
yeah.
It's yeah. Okay, here we go. Oh no, it is it is in 5e. A basic unarmed strike deals 1 point of bludgeoning damage plus your strength modifier. Yeah, so yeah, for you it would be 3 damage.
Yeah.
No, what's your strength modifier?
Plus 1.
Yeah, so it's 2 damage for you.
2. Just do 3. Just do 3. I don't care about that. Or do 2. Whatever you want to do. Just tell me.
Oh well, I'll do more damage. I'm allowed
Yeah,
to do
sure.
damage.
Do 3.
Modifier is 17.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
I cock back my fist and I just throw a straight punch straight at the first guy running ahead.
Yeah. He's actually quite surprised by the impact that you've been able to give him. Did you give him a little magical force behind it as well, or is it just a straight?
No. This
1,
is
2?
just straight.
What's your fighting stance? I could imagine it being like sort of like one of those.
No,
like
no,
underneath.
So the thing about LePage is he's actually trained. Like he's trained in martial arts. Like he's trained
okay.
in wizardry. Like
Yep.
he's well read. He's well spoken. He's always had somebody come in and train him. He's never
You know-
had
you know
real world
what-
experience.
You,
no
you know
real
what he
world.
reminds me of is Richie Rich.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like he's had.
Like he has like he has the fencing classes, he has like the shooting
Yeah.
classes, but then he meets the real world kids at the baseball field, and he's just so out of touch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
spot on. You, like literally nailed it. That's what I'm going for. So he's had training. He knows how to fight. But,
Yeah,
like, this
all
is
right.
his first. This is his first time like actually hitting somebody with his fist and not like magic or anything.
Judo chop. And you hit him, and you drew blood. You actually cracked his nose. And it's like, yeah, you gave him a good nudge. And is that your turn? I'm assuming probably.
Am I allowed to say anything to them after the punch?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, perfect. So I just kind of like look at them and it was like,
Shit talked them for 10 minutes. Of course, you better be chirping.
yeah, I kind of just like I just kind of like move my hands around. I was like, so that's what that feels like. I thought it hurt a little bit more.
And he just looks at you like,
yeah.
"Argh."
All right, that's my turn.
All right. Solomon, it's your turn.
I'm going for the same guy. Fuck it.
All right.
Actually, which is the guy that I threw the glass at coming?
Yeah, he's not in the lead because the other two, like, he was sort of stunned a little bit, but he is coming. Yes, he's just behind the other two.
Oh, okay. In that case, I'll go for the same guy.
Yep. All right.
Just
There's one poor bloke
He's just
popping
getting
it.
dusted. He's getting
yeah,
dusted.
comboed.
15.
You can roll a dice if you want to. Like, you can roll a real dice. I've got paper
Oh,
and
it's
pen.
right there. I did 15 to hit.
That hits.
Okay, so I'm going to do an unarmed strike as well, so that's going to be 4 damage for me.
Yep.
And it's just like a fucking elbow across his cheek.
Yep.
And then I turned to the page and like, it is fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
You get used to it. It's very fun.
I'm just chuckling
I'll tell you what, it sure is a good thing that they chose red costumes because you won't see the blood.
Deadpool.
Yeah.
Is that your turn?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So the bandit that you guys have been given a little 1-2 to, he actually jumps on top of LePage to perform a grapple on him. So he's got him on the ground and they're like grappling together and they're like he's got you though at the moment. Second bandit runs up and he is going to take a shot at Solomon with a big right hook. Wow. That was a natural 1. He is going to
You meant to hit me with it.
what?
He's shit talking.
Oh,
Shit talking.
I haven't even told you how what I've done. So yeah, so I go up with the fist, and I actually accidentally just like smash and punch into like some drinks that were on the table next door, splashing some of my other colleagues with the beer, and that ends my turn. So that's 2. Third bandit was the guy that got hit by the glassware, and he's actually coming up with like a flying judo kick on Solomon. Like he's leapt over a table and he's going for like a double kick. And he is going to probably miss. That would be 11. No, yes,
11
not.
is not hitting,
No.
bro.
He doesn't even quite reach you. He like sort of lands on the table awkwardly and doesn't quite reach you and gets back up to his feet. And without any intervention from Horatio, it would be LePage's turn.
Well, now that I'm grappled, I just yell out the top of my lungs. I'm like, "Hey, big guy, a little help?"
I can't do anything, bro. It's not my turn.
I'm talking to the big guy, not you,
Oh, right.
the real big guy.
Yeah, that's
my little buddy from the pub that I've been drinking with all
Horatio's
night.
looking up from the 3 half-drinking beer glasses that he's pulled off the other tables. Just rolled his eyes at this current moment and starts to stand up, but I'll let you finish your turn.
No, I'm pinned.
Oh,
So if I'm gonna start my turn, I've got to either get
Okay.
out of the grapple or you got.
I
I
mean,
guess-
you can
yeah.
make like a strength check or something, can't you?
Yeah,
So
but
he
I
can
want- I
choose
wanna
to use
see-
strength
yeah.
or dexterity to break
Yeah.
it.
I
I'll
want to see if Horatio can.
Yeah, Horatio's gonna roll his eyes. He had some fun watching what was happening, and then runs full pelt and throws his whole body weight into both of them because he's not that accurate. Do I have to roll anything for that?
Yes,
Yeah.
you do. So roll an acrobatics check.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh, I like the dice, by the way.
Well,
That's
thanks.
sharp. Did you customize that?
Yeah,
Uh,
I did it the other time.
So Horatio throws the table that he was hiding underneath, and he like with a strong, like, he's a lot faster. You guys have never seen him run so fast. He's like, what are those Australian, like, little chunky, like, pretty thick
Wombat?
animals? Wombat. He's like a wombat.
Yeah, they're called wombats.
careening across the bar. No, yeah, careening fast, and absolutely levels and lays into this guy that was grappling LePage, and knocks him into the wall, and LePage is free from his grasp. And Horatio, I will get you to roll initiative now.
Can I just click the initiative?
Yep.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, no, I can't. All right, I'll do it again.
Or just roll the dice and we'll talk about it.
Doesn't matter. End of the tree anyway.
Yeah, actually not. The bandits
Oh,
rolled
really?
the red brands rolled really poorly. Yeah. Yeah. All good.
Alright.
Yep.
All right, so now I'm up.
Yeah.
I'm so happy. I'm like, big guy, drunk off my ass, having the best time of my life. I was like, that was you, man. And I look over at the one that just missed Solomon, that just like punched all the beers, and he's like, after he's punched all the beers off the table, and I go to him and I just fucking kick him right in the face.
Right in the face. All right. Roll for damage. Roll for attack.
How was it? Did I do 1d20 plus 1 plus 2? Ah,
You are going to miss that.
Alcohol's caught up with him.
Yeah, yeah. You're
I got a
also
little too
rolling.
excited.
You're also rolling with disadvantage.
I got a little too excited.
Okay, and yeah, so you go up for the kick. You actually overextend your leg, and roll for a con save now.
I got a sprained ankle. Oh fuck.
And so you overextend your leg, but in the midst of all this going on, you actually do have a little bit of a chunder because you're pretty shook up, and you just vomit next to the guy you just missed, and you cover his leg. Is that your turn?
Yeah, that's my turn.
That would be on to Solomon.
At this point, I take it the guy that I glassed is up there with us.
Yeah, he actually took a shot at you, but I think missed. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
he's engaging you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna swing one back at him then.
Oh, he was the one that went for the. Oh no, yes, it was
Shooting.
the exact one. Yeah. All right, swing one back at him. Yep.
Ugh.
Oh, damn. He goes for like the two-handed punch on the guy that were in front of him, and just clean misses and breaks through a table. Sorry, you can flavor it how you want. I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, no, that's probably pretty accurate.
Is that accurate? Horatio, you have just bumped. Actually, do you want to do anything on your bonus? Do you have a bonus action, Solomon?
Nah, I won't do anything.
it's just-
In
it's
theory, I
just
can because it's not a weapon attack.
You can shove.
We're just having like a piss fight right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna wait. I'm not gonna waste bullshit. This
I
is
mean,
just a fucking
you do have
front roll.
weapons. You can choose
No,
to
no.
use them.
I don't want to start a weapon fight if we don't have to.
Horatio, it's your turn. And
Okay.
what's your strength modifier? Is it plus
Plus one.
one? Okay, so your proficiency. Did we figure that out?
Proficiency's a +2.
So so it's a D20 plus 3 that you're rolling.
Okay. Perfect. All right. Well, the guy.
If you're
that I've
punching,
just-
if that's what you're punching or kicking or whatever.
Yeah, I'll still be unarmed as well.
Yeah.
The guy that's on the ground, that I've just slammed into a wall. I'm still staring at him, and then I'm gonna try and just go for just a left kick, just into the gut. Kick him while he's down.
Kick him in the
Yeah.
That will hit. That will hit.
15.
That will hit.
Perfect.
And your damage would be, probably the same as LePage.
It'd be
3?
one more than LePage.
4? 4? Yeah, let's just call it that.
Can't remember what the damage was. Yeah.
Yeah, let's just call it 4.
Cool.
Okay, cool. Is that your turn?
That is my turn.
All right, Bandit that got knocked off by Horatio. He is he's a pretty big, like, juiced looking one, and he goes and jumps on top of Horatio, and he's also grappling him. Like he's clearly all about the grapple. And he's got him on the ground, knocking around, and then one of his bandit buddies that's behind him goes for a kick on Horatio as well, and he will be rolling with advantage.
Oh no.
And fucking hell, he missed as well. He missed and kicked his buddy. Yeah, they're really useless. Jesus Christ.
I had a few too many drinks for lunch.
They were useless. I think I rolled an 11 there. I'm guessing that doesn't hit your armor class.
No.
No. Okay. Third bandit is going for a straight jab at Solomon, and he's going to fucking miss for sure. 5.
Useless, bro. 5's not hitting.
I need to get it.
No,
I'm using
man,
I'm using my
it's
nice
like 5
dice as well. I need a new one. And LePage, it's your turn. So you've got
All right.
one that's near to passing out. You've got one sort of midway through and one with full.
Yeah, but there's still one on top of Horatio, right?
There's one currently on Horatio, and he's had some knocks, but he is currently grappling Horatio.
Okay. I'm gonna get on top of the guy that's on top of Horatio, like a dog pile, and I'm gonna wrap my arms around him and I just put him like a full Nelson, just try to put him to sleep, like incapacitate him.
All right. Roll a strength save for that.
I'm just still standing with these two guys. Just
No.
You're like Gimli the dwarf when he's like pinned
Yeah.
all those under all those animals. All right, you gave him, like, using your martial techniques that you learned back at the ranch. You actually have put him to, you knock him out, put him to
My
sleep.
house is not a ranch.
Yeah, you have knocked one out doing that.
All right, so one's sleeping.
MMA
Nice.
fighter, LePage over here.
And then I just, as I'm ending my turn, I'm pulling my buddy up and I'm just kind of like yanking him up into the air, and I'm still like laughing and just losing my mind.
thanks, little lad. Appreciate it.
Solomon, you've got 2 left. One's looking for worse for wear.
I'll go for that one then.
Yep,
But I forgot to add the +5. 23.
that's fine. I'm sure we can add it. That hits.
Okay, beautiful. So I do 4 or 5 damage to him.
You're gonna
How is it?
knock him out with this.
Oh,
Whatever
cool.
you do, you're knocking one out.
Yeah, I grab him by like the back of the head and just like slam him down into my knee and like clock him in the forehead. And he falls unconscious.
Nice. So just so you're aware as well, like, obviously there's onlookers in this bar. Like, there's other red brands and things around. The older gentleman that was like sort of leading the conversations, he has disappeared in the midst of all of this happening, and you like, people are sort of like peeling off. Like, they're starting to sort of realize that this isn't gonna end well for anyone being around, and so some people are leaving. And the last, sorry, Horatio, it's your turn.
Okay. After LePage has just saved me, I'm going to turn to him and go, let's get this last one. And I'm going to quickly run behind the last guy and turn my back. And essentially, it was as if a normal person quickly got on their hands and knees behind someone. And then I end my turn.
It actually is his turn now.
Oh,
So
I
he,
forgot. Ah, well.
so he turns around and he's like, "What the
David.
fuck?" And he's going for a kick right to the gut, like straight to the gut, with definitely with advantage. You won't believe this, but I promise this was true. I rolled a natural 1 and a natural 20.
Nice.
I
So
feel like
he
a natural 20 is well deserved, to be fair.
It's this whole fight.
I haven't hit you the full fight. So he is going to do 6 bludgeoning damage right to your gut. And it's fair, I reckon, because you're on the floor as well. Like, it's a proper critical hit already set up. He kicks you, busts you out of the way, and he peels off out this side door. You can see him, like, you're at the edge of town now. You can see him and 1 or 2 other of these bandits actually going up to that old, like, the manor that I mentioned at the beginning when you're walking in, like up on the hill. Like they're all obviously sort of like you've scared them off. They've fled to this like upper place, up above Phandalin, past the mayor's office and everything.
So the tavern's empty now, like completely?
There's a few people left, like, but definitely not like of the red. Like they're just somewhat locals. They look, to be honest with you, they look more like also possibly travelers or like miners.
Right.
No one of like particular interest. It's practically empty. The barkeeper is there, but he's like he's almost like hiding behind the wall as well.
All right. So are we still in combat, or is it kind of like it's over?
Combat's over. Yeah,
Alright,
you beat him up. You
Alright,
gave him a
so-
good. You got a couple people lying there, passed out.
So I walk over to the bartender and I'm just like, we need a round of shot for the boys.
Yeah, and he like looks up from behind the bar and he's like, yeah, okay, yep. And he has like 1 bottle of scotch behind him.
Yeah.
And that's all he pours because he doesn't. That's like the only option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking good to me, bro.
Yeah. And then we just kind of cheers it out, and I'm just like I'm
Surely we're doing shots.
yeah I'm just so bloody happy right now. So
Nice.
yeah,
Cheers.
That's what I want to pat the page on the back. So that felt good, didn't it?
yeah. It's like you guys had such a good time. Like it was awesome. Just slurring my words. And,
I just like I motioned to the barkeep. Just maybe a water.
And Horatio's
stew
like
sounds
bent
real
over.
good.
Yeah.
Cornbread. I can't wait.
Okay. So, you've got basically like from here, your points of interest to take note of would be, so you've got the Shrine of Luck where Molly told you to go see Sister Gorell. You've got the manor up on the hillside where you've seen the red bandits fleeing to, and you've got obviously the mayor's house where Sildar said that he wanted to meet with you when after you'd had a rest. So those would be like your points of interest.
Is it still like midday? Or is it turned to night?
So you arrived in town and it was like, no, it's like nighttime now. It's night.
Okay.
It's like 7, 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah, so probably not the mayor's house.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to go there in the morning.
So either we follow the bandits, we might be walking into a trap, and that's not probably the best.
I am a little bit hurt, but like, yeah,
I'm
I don't know,
surviving,
take
but I am
on
hurt.
all of them.
I'm fine. I'm just drunk.
So you are hurt.
You're even more drunk now, having the
Yeah.
shots. Yep.
Oh, now I'm drunk. Like now
You're
I was-
drunk.
I was having a good time before. Now I'm drunk.
I think we I'm feeling a bit sorry for myself and could use a bit of stew back at
Yeah.
the
I'm starting to think of like I could really love this stew. Like this sounds so yummy.
So I think I'm keen to head back to the Stonehill Inn and
Sounds
and
good.
grab some food.
Yeah, and while we're there, we tell Bart that we just beat the living piss out of these guys.
Yeah.
And Bart says to you, he says,
I want to take one of the. I want
What?
to take one of the capes, or the capes of the guys lying draped on the floor. I want to take one of them, the red capes.
Yeah, all right, sure. Are you wearing it?
No, just bunch it up, bringing it with me.
All right, sure.
Did the sash cover much of their face?
Certain ones, yeah, like it would be like almost like a bandana for some of them. But certain ones don't even wear it. Like so it's just like personal preference. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and so you told Bart that you beat up some of the red brands, and he looks at you, like he almost cracks a smile, which he's never done. Like he's a half orc; they're not really the smiling type, but he cracks a smile and he says, "You mean those red boys? You had a fight with them?"
I don't know if it was a fight. They sort of just ran at us and fell over, if I'm being honest.
He says,
they didn't put up with
yeah,
this.
I've been in a few scraps with them myself, and I can vouch for that. I can attest for that. I gave a couple of them the 1-2.
Well, and I hand him the cape. I say to him, my advice would be, hang this over the bar, and if they come in, point to it and just remind them that we are still around, and we will not hesitate to teach a few more of them a lesson if we have to.
He says, "Look, as long as you got my back, geez, I don't want to bring their attention to my humble abode, but if you've got my back, I'm more than happy to do that. And yeah, well done to you all. And tell me, where did you see them? You didn't head down to the other end, did you?"
Well, our friend here wanted a drink, and I just pat LePage on the back, and he just falls over as I do it. So we thought we'd sample the cocktails down there and invade their little dress-up party, and yeah.
He's just like, he's blown away. He's like so impressed by your bravery. And he says, "So after you beat him up, what happened? Yeah, I'm sure you didn't get them all."
No, I think we sort of just scared them off. They'll be back, don't worry. But I think the next time they come, they'll be looking for us with weapons drawn rather than just a tavern brawl.
Yeah, got it. Well, I'll warn everyone to stay inside if you think they're coming back to cause any more trouble. He just goes back to his business.
I get him to pour LePage a glass of fresh cold water.
Is LePage still standing?
I think he's getting up.
Sloshing. Yeah, he's sloshing.
I get him a glass of water and a nice bowl of corn soup.
Yeah.
Sit him in the corner with like a little blankie wrapped around him.
Yeah. I'm resting it off.
Nice. I'm completely up to you guys, like where you want to go, or if you just want to call it there for the night. Like it's
nighttime, isn't it?
Yeah.
I
Literally and figuratively.
I think we maybe long rest, have a check in for the night.
Yeah. It makes sense to do a long rest. Get some health back, and we're going to be at the tavern anyway.
Yeah, have a proper sleep.
Go visit the mayor first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
I'll go in my halfling room.
And it's a free night stay, right?
Yeah.
it's 3 days a week.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You've got 2 weeks worth.
Paige, you have to pay double to me.
Okay. So you've
everybody's
rested.
long resting?
Yep.
Long resting, yeah.
Alright, done.
Perfect.
I'm just trying to think of anything else. No. All right. Did you want to go to the mayor's house?
Yeah.
First thing in the morning, yeah.
All walking the streets again to back to the mayor's house, which is sort of like on the side of town where where then it starts to head up to that old like decrepit manor where you saw the bandits fleeing to. There's less of the bandits in the streets than you saw the day before. Still a few groups, and again, like definitely the stare downs are happening. LePage is fucking hungover and hurting big time, and so you head to the mayor's house. It's hardly more grand than than any of the other buildings, just a little bit more established, a little bit more architecture, stonework. Out the front, there is like a signboard, like a town board, and it says that there's a reward for anyone who can find any information about bandits nearby. That's about all it says, and some other sort of really like out of touch things that you're like, this town is in a bit of a state of disrepair, and like there's some really out of touch like things, notifications on the board about pet walking and stuff like that. And so you walk into the town master's hall. So this is also where Sildar said that he was going as well. You walk into the room, and you like there's some old tables. Like this is obviously like where like judge jury criminal cases are heard. It's where communal meetings happen, community meetings. Like it's like this is like the central sort of hub. Mayor has like quite a ridiculously grand desk, and he's like this big like chubby fellow, larger guy, like ringlets, like the big sideburns on the side of his face, quite like pompous looking. He wearing like clothes so out of like something LePage would see back at home, like just not like so out of touch with like the area. Like a little bit of a mustache, goatee as well, and sitting behind his desk. Sildar is also in the room, but he's sort of like in the library side, like close enough that everyone's in the same place. But he's like sort of rustling through some books and things. And yeah, that's it for now. Where do you want to go? The mayor acknowledges you and says, "Why, hello. What brings you to my humble town of Phandalin?"
I'm going to let our slightly hungover and very wealthy friend lead the way here.
Slap our friend LePage on the back.
I'll just go up and I'll say it to the mayor. We met some roughhouseians last night. Do you know anything about these red people that you have running around town?
Well, sir, I don't even know your name, and you're talking about ruffians in my town. My name is Harbin Wester. How can I help you?
Well, Harbin,
what's your names?
Again, my question was about the ruffians.
Ruffians? I don't know what you're talking about. This is Phandalin. This is probably a bit of a rougher town than you're from, young man. I know nothing about ruffians, though.
That might be true, but I've seen them and talking to people in town, and they're saying that there's a little bit of trouble in this town, and it seems to be a little corrupt. You know anything about that?
He says, I don't know what you're talking about. Look, Sildar, he has been telling me lately that there's been a couple of things happening around town, but I don't tend to believe that. It's been a humble town for a long time. I don't think there's anything quite out of the ordinary, but look, Sildar seems to think there is, and that's why I had to put that sign up out the front, but look, I don't see there being a particular problem, but look, if you want to speak to him about it, more than welcome. Be my guest, I care not.
So is Sildar in the building then?
Yeah, he's actually kind of watching as well. Like he doesn't have authority here, so he's not like he's a noble knight. Like, he's not gonna interject or intervene. But yeah, he's listening to the whole conversation.
I say to him, I'll say, it looks like your house could use a little fixing up. It's not up to standard.
And he says,
I
my house.
Yes, your house. Your house looks like the shed at my house.
Shit.
And I'm like, to be frank, you're not like you're the mayor of a shithole.
He says, my son, can I ask the angle you're coming at me from?
Well, the people in the town seem to believe that you are one of the people who are driving this force of violence and rough and control that's going on the people. And the people
Inconceivable. I would never. This is my town, young man. I can't believe you'd walk into my front door and charge me with these accusations.
Well, that's what I was gonna get to. I'll put 100 gold coins down on the table right now. If you can call off your friends that you don't believe exist here, and to leave our friends alone. And we'll pretend like this conversation's never taken place.
And he says, my son, are you talking about bribery?
You know exactly.
And Sildar kind of looks at you as well, and he's like, no.
I'm gonna double down on it. I'm gonna say that's exactly what it is, and you leave these people alone, or the reports that you probably heard about last night will come back a little bit harder each night that we're in town.
He genuinely doesn't know. Like, he's looking at you like he really doesn't know what you're talking about. he doesn't believe. He says to you like, son, you've got your wires in a bunch. There is nothing wrong in my town. There's nothing going on here unbeknownst or unbetowed.
Okay, then out of character here. So why is everybody in town saying that it's the mayor?
I don't think everybody is. I think they're saying they're sent by the mayor.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right, back into character then. All right.
Break,
So,
unbreak.
Yeah. I have to I don't want to Yeah.
That I like that you guys remembered that little hitch. That was excellent.
Okay. So they're saying they work for the mayor. Okay. So then I'll say to them, it's like, okay, so you really don't know what I'm talking about.
He says, young man, you've walked into my house, tried to bribe me for information. I don't even know your name.
Let's get off on the right foot here. My name's LePage. My name's LePage. And I had a wicked hangover. I've got a headache. And I've been in what I believe was a fist fight. At the Silver Pub. I don't know what it is. It's down the street. It's
One of the two
nice
inns.
one. Yeah, from the nice one.
Yeah.
And these people who claim to be working for you are attacked us.
Claim to be working for me? I haven't even heard of many attacks in my town. That seems, interesting. That must be what Sildar was talking about. He mentioned something about bandits here and there through the town. And look, I guess, look, if you can help me out with this so-called problem, as you say, I will honor that 100 gold pieces that I mentioned.
That you mentioned, that I mentioned.
No, sorry, that on the town board. On the town board. Yeah,
again,
sorry.
I got
Confusing.
that crossed.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, so you have no information at all about this, other than just
he's like, he doesn't believe there's a problem.
okay. Can I do a deception, like a what kind of check can I do here? Because I don't fucking believe this guy.
You could do an insight check
Yeah.
to see if, yeah, you want to see what he's on about, if he's lying about something. What'd you roll? 7.
Yeah.
Nothing discernible. He seems pompous. He seems genuinely a little bit like he doesn't know what's going on. Like, but
All right.
you don't know if he's
So-
lying or not. You can't discern.
All right. So I look at the guys and I look at Sildar, and I'm like, does this make sense to you?
Yes.
Well, does what he's saying sound honest to you? Because I'm not buying it.
It wouldn't be the first mayor that I've met that doesn't know what's going on in his town.
Yeah,
True.
I love it.
True.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like it's perhaps more oblivion than malice. Or obliviousness, I should say, not oblivion. Obliviousness than malice. It wouldn't surprise me at all if maybe these red boys are just saying they're sent by the mayor to have free reign of stomping around everyone here.
So I guess my last question then to the mayor is like, how don't you know about who these red boys are then?
And he says, "Oh, those you mean those? Oh, they're just a group of guns for hire, some mercenaries. They come and go. I don't see them as much of a problem. But you know, Sildar does keep talking, mentioning them, and yeah. Look, if you think they're a problem, if they really are causing any trouble, certainly honor that 100 gold pieces that I mentioned. But
Yeah, but why can't you get rid of them if you're the mayor?
he says, well, the sheriff not long left town, and to be honest with you, we never really had law enforcement in this part of the world outside of the sheriff who left here a few weeks ago, suddenly in the night. So yeah, we don't. To be honest with you, we don't really have a lot of law enforcement around here at the moment, and I haven't seen a need to get any. This is a quiet town in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, I'd probably step forward and interrupt. How often do you leave this little abode of yours? Because we've talked to 3, maybe 4 people, and every single one of them has basically begged us to either keep quiet on threats of violence about the Red Boys or to get rid of them. And you think they're not a problem.
And he's like, well, I don't like your tone, sir. I also don't know your name, and I don't love your tone of voice, but
My name is Solomon, and I could not care less about what you think of my tone of voice.
Behind Harbin, you see it like Sildar sort of makes like a notion, like he doesn't get much, like he doesn't. You get the idea. He doesn't
So
leave
he's
the.
oblivious.
Yeah.
I challenge you to leave this room
Yeah,
of yours.
take him with him.
And
Yeah, you want to come with us?
Come for a walk around this town that you manage, and I do the little air quotations, and speak to some of the people who you rule over, and see how many of them actually think these Red Boys are just harmless.
He says, well, you boys have been awfully rude since you've been here, and I will make sure I make a note to do all of those things, of course, and I will do my due diligence as it is required. But for now, I humbly ask you to get out of my house, because you've done nothing but offend me since you got here.
I take my dagger out and I stick it in his table.
Shit. With what motive?
Just as a don't talk to us that way. Like, don't play stupid.
Shit. So Sildar like looks up and almost like goes in between the two of you, and he says, gentlemen, let's calm down. Let's calm down now. And Harbin's like, well, I'm not calmed. I'm just, these boys are just coming to my house. Sildar, can you make them leave?
I look at Sildar.
How about
Yeah.
you make the Red Boys leave?
He looks at you guys and he's like, not time.
Yeah, I'll turn around and start walking off, like making a point of like dragging dirty boots through his house.
And he's like, oh my god.
Accidentally clunking my armor into like freshly painted walls and banisters and shit.
And I like as I leave, I like the dagger back and forth to make sure it's like really marked up as nice desk.
And as you're leaving, he cries out. He says, "LePage, was it? Your clothes are
LePage.
awful and you stink."
My clothes are bullshit, and they are still better than yours. And I
He
like
says-
fluff my collar, and it's like, even though it's like falling apart now, I fluff my collar and I still walk out the door.
I sort of like do the little side thing. I'm like, I think the smell is this one, and I like point at Horatio.
And he's just like shaking his head, like standing there. He's got a cane as well, just shaking his head as you guys leave. Stilgar's like sort of like stopping him from going anywhere. He wasn't gonna chase you or anything though. And you walk outside, and is there anything you want to discuss in closing before we call it a night?
There is one thing. Where is Sister Garel?
So Sister Garel would be, a point of interest that you'd probably want to go
That was
see.
the Shrine of Luck, was it not?
Shrine of Luck. Yep.
Yeah, I forgot
Molly
about that.
mentioned that she's been like basically a force for good in the town, and but could use some assistance, and her special magical powers haven't been working lately.
That's fine. I'll write that down for next session.
There's just hillbillies everywhere in this town.
This education of this town is fantastic.
They done did fall off the turnip truck.
I think Ratio turns to the two others and says, I think that went well. Chatting to the mayor, I think there's a lot out of that.
Ah, yes. Well, he's useless.
Didn't-
Completely useless.
I really don't think that he is aware of anything happening in this town. He's got the Bloods hanging out because I'm pretty sure both Solomon and LePage are blue, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, I am.
What do you mean blue? My armor is black.
Ah, okay.
That's what you mean.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think we're not going to get anything out of old mate. So I think the only other two.
You know what? It's
avenues-
the first thing in the morning, is it not?
Yes.
We can attend to this next session, Brad, if you prefer. Solomon storms back in there and walks
Yep.
up to him. And I am going to need him to... Why is my Foundry just shit the bed? There it goes. I'm going to need him to make a wisdom save.
All right. Okay, sure. I gotta think of his stat block.
Well, he's not
Actually-
wise, let's be real here.
You know what? He will actually have a stat block. Just let me find it.
There is one thing I want to do as well after this.
Okay. Let me just roll the dice. He will not pass whatever you're gonna do.
Beautiful. I cast command on him and I say the command, come, and beckon him to follow so that we can take him for a tour of this village that's not at all bothered by the Red Boys.
All right. So what are you specifically going to try and show him?
I want to take him to the pub, for example, like the inn.
Yeah.
I want to talk to fucking
Bart.
his name, Bart. That's it. And then I want to take him as well to the shop that's not allowed to sell. Have him talk to that lady. I've got the names written down, but I can't be sorting through the notes right now. And yeah, just like speak to some locals in general, even like pulling random people on the street and just like asking them what they think of the Red Boys. Like, I just want to make it blatantly obvious that this guy is so out of touch with what's going on in his town.
Yes. He would have a response for all of that. like in the response to all of that would be like he is out of touch, and he would basically, what I'm trying to insinuate is that you are overreacting and they are overreacting, and these mercenaries, like, they come and go. There's no real threat here.
I punch him. No, I'm dead serious. I punch him square in the fucking jaw and then turn around and walk off.
You'd knock him out.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Sildar's gonna fucking kill you.
Sildar's not gonna do a thing about it. Sildar knows full well how out of touch he is. I'm not here to make friends. I couldn't give a shit.
All right,
about
so
the man.
where are you when you punch him?
Outside the tavern.
Which tavern? The red, the
Yeah, the Red
good one
Boys
or the bad
Tavern.
one? The Red Boys Tavern. Is it, and there's a crowd? Are you doing it in front of a crowd?
I don't know. If there's a crowd there, then sure, I do it in front of the crowd. I just want to punch him and then prop him up against the side of the tavern so that he gets introduced to some Red Boys later on.
All right, so you punch him, you are gonna knock him out, and he you're leaving. And are you gonna leave him, or are you gonna watch what happens?
No, I'll be close. Like, I'm not gonna let the guy die. I'm gonna be in. I'll wait in the tavern.
All right. So you punch him. He wakes up. Time passes by. He, like, nothing specifically happens throughout. Like, how long are you waiting here with him? He's not going to be out forever. He wakes up after about an hour.
Are the red brands back? Like the Red Boys?
The force of them has, like, dissipated a little bit. Like,
if they're not around, then I'd just leave him. Like, I just punch him.
Yeah, they're not really around.
I was under the impression that they would come back.
No, they haven't really come back. No, you'd scared them off.
Yeah, in that case, yeah, I just clock him.
All right.
Sort of like, you know in Baldur's Gate where you can just punch Zevlor because he's being a prick. It's that sort of thing. I just punch him and just go like, I know he's safe, so I just walk off.
Understood. Yep. All right. All right. Can we call it there then?
I think 2 had something he wanted to do as well.
Yeah, I was gonna do it when he was conscious.
Sorry.
I wanted to steal.
What did you want to do?
I want to steal his cane.
You could very much do that now.
You
Well,
could,
I know.
You,
Now
you
I
could
don't
do
even
that
have
now
to
without a
worry.
roll.
I can just take it. So
You can just take it. I can
Yeah.
steal it.
Are you taking it? Are you taking
yeah,
the
I'm
cane?
gonna take his cane. I'm glad I waited.
All right, well done. So you just make sure you make a note that you have that cane for canonical reasons.
Perfect.
It
Easy
is. You can drop a pretty gangster looking cane in your head as well. Like it's pimped out. Like it's got ice on it. It's got like some
Ice,
stones on it as well. Like it's icy. It would be though, like it's pretty much as tall as you though. Like
I feel
it
like
wouldn't.
it'd be taller than me almost.
Yeah. Like it. Yeah, a little bit.
It's like me walking around with a full staff.
Yes. Correct.
Nice.
Yeah, like it'd be like a walking stick for you. Like a Gandalf walking stick.
That's sick. All right.
I fully
want
expect you shall not pass at some point now.
Yeah, this little small halfling saying that to someone.
All right, we'll call it at that, team. Well